million Magic Million. Terrific race coming up here. Someone's going to get all their money back and have money for the sales over the rest of the Magic Millions Carnival. On track, Bright Expectations, $11 out to 12, but had his 6 Military Rose, $5 into $4.60. Tough Luck.
Over from a wide barrier to the first corner and Wandering Star, the leader, and Nectar Military Rose. Jansen goes to third. They're followed by Bright Expectations, Triple Crown, then Demanding Miss. Ebony Rock's back on the fence from Starts Me Up and Tough Luck, Ring-a-Ring-a Rosie, and Spirit of Boom is last. They're on the bend, 500 metres to go, and Military Rose has dashed away at the top of the straight. 3 Jansen, Wandering Star, Marking Time, Red Belly Black, then Bright Expectations and Ebony Rock is next from Mundy Gully. But it's Military Rose, the 300 metres mark at 3 in front. Marking Time in second spot, Bright Expectations, Jansen still there, and Amber's Waltz coming down the outside. But Military Rose is a mile in front at the 100, led by about 4. The Millions is all over. Amber Waltz running into second position, but Military Rose is giving them a bath. Military Rose by 4. Amber Waltz second, tight for third. Ebony Rock with Demanding Miss from Starts Me Up. Mundy Gully, Jansen, Tough Luck. Red Belly, the race is Spirit of Boom, and that's one of the biggest millions I've ever seen. Military Rose has given them an absolute caning. Starthick, it's
the Gold Coast grid. There's Hoss left and Gillian on the right and downs in racing, but no one's ever doubted his riding skills, Shane Templeton.
Oh, no, he's a darn good rider.
Yeah, he won. And you got to go back to horses like Testarossa. I mean, we're talking General Nadim Testarossa-like performances. And
$1 should go through unbeaten. So you just roll this around. $1.40
You're getting a leg
into
up
the
tonight.
William Reed, and she's $5 now for the Newmarket. If she wins tonight, I don't know, it'd be a huge slash in price because you talk to Peter when you get him in the chair here and find out where she's heading.
And Black Caviar's out to $1.50 from $1.40. Here the Angels back into $3. Let's go to the Mount Udy walking around with Luke Nolan. She's unbeaten. She's won here. She's beaten them pretty convincingly in all of her runs to date. And this is her first big step up as a 3-year-old filly at weight for age.
Doesn't he look well,
Racing at the 1200 metres, a beautiful start. Here the Angels, the first to show. Black Caviar goes with him. And 650 metres left to go now. Here the Angels at a steady tempo, led by a half. Black Caviar capped on his outside. Royal Ida 3 deep, the trip. La Rocket's on the fence. Ferocia is last. Here the Angels has it by a half. Black Caviar. Neither riders asked for the big run yet. La Rocket in behind them. Royal Ida niggled fourth. Last Ferocia. Now Black Caviar's let go by Nolan. And she quickly raced up to Here the Angels. Got almost a length in front of him. Sprinted away around the home turn. Then came La Rocket and Royal Ida. But it's Black Caviar by 2 lengths. Here the Angels can't answer this super filly who races away to make it 5 out of 5. What a star. Black Caviar, 2.5. Here the Angels. Now Black Caviar's let go by Nolan. And she quickly raced up to Here the Angels. Got almost a length in front of him. Sprinted away around the home turn. Then came La Rocket and Royal Ida. But it's Black Caviar by 2 lengths. Here the Angels can't answer this super filly who races away to make it 5 out of 5. What a star. Black Caviar, 2.5. Here the Angels. La Rocket a length and 3/4 third. Royal Ida ran 4.
She's got out to $1.70 on track. I don't think anyone would have believed that. And you heard Peter Moody. She has got whips and whips of improvement left in her. She was a grade above. Here the Angels tried to go.
Angels, but this is all class. I know there's no depth in this right there, Terry, but she's, she finds 2 or 3 lengths improvement at her next start.
Well, she's going to do that
William
easily.
Reed. She's going to go around even money. That $7 is now looking pretty handy because you might end up going around $7 in the Newmarket.
Yeah, no, she's got a
in return, and we thought she was going terrific, but just no, such a big race filly like her's just got to improve. So the next thing will be getting to the stables at 4 in the morning and watching a combination. Bella Spree is the sire.
Is deserved of all the euphoria that's around at the moment, because Here to Angels is no slouch. In my view, he is a genuine Group 2 horse, and she beat him with relative ease over the concluding stages, not knocked around at all. I tell you what, the world is her oyster.
Yeah, look, what a filly. She's got that unique ability to have a high cruising speed and relax at the same time to conserve energy. And when she accelerates, she puts paid to opposition. She reminds me of, fillies like, Miss Andretti and Alingi and even Special, the great Special. And look, she's right up there with them fillies, in my opinion.
Well, she's got gears, 4 roulettes, 460 Shahik, 8 Crystal Lily 8, And we're down to, they get into the yard here. Starting those for most of these that compete today. I mean, they're
Absolutely. Now the word is coming through.
The symbol second last, and last is Magic of Emma. Coming around the turn now, Crystal Lily in front, Warm Love running second, Nova Spirit deeper out, Koala Bear waiting on a run, Shehek behind them, Roulette's has pulled out, and the rest headed by She's Got Gears, Crystal Lily with a nice kick led by 2 lengths, Koala Bear the inside, Warm Love, then Shehek and Roulette, but it's Crystal Lily who's been well supported, leading by 3. She's run them off their legs, she'll bolt in. Crystal Lily eased up 2.5, Shehek. Warm Love held third. Close for fourth, the Roulette's Koala Bear. Nova
just heavily backed and impressive. 56.84 compares most impressively to the boys' time, which was 57.5, and that was won by an on-pacer. This was won by an on-pacer who was quick and extended. Impressive.
Sporting, she drew one and played up in the gates a bit and had my heart and mouth for a minute there, but
that was good, Steve. Crystal Lily.
Well, I think she was absolutely fantastic. I think she's clearly the horse to beat in the Blue Diamond. That tiny reservation that most Blue Diamonds these days are won by run-on 2-year-olds, not on paces. But that's the most impressive 2-year-old performance in Melbourne this season.
Yeah, I think she went.
The Testarossa, which is over the past 2 days. It's all revolved around Star Spangled Banner, who is back out to $4 on course, but none of these was into $51. Speak for yourself, birthday boy. Only one under 51 now. 41. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Here is the running of the Coolmore Lightning Stakes, and to call it Greg Miles.
Here's Headway coming up into the stalls now, so just the last 2 or 3 to get set. In behind the leading trio then is Shell Scrape, the outside of Star Spangled Banner, followed by Wanted, and then came Cannonball. Governance on his outside, trailed by Dewporth, and then Headway towards the end of the field in company with Nakoni. At the 5 or 350 metre mark and seeking attention is headed off by Burdick and Blues out in the middle from Honest Truth. Star Spangled Banner's in the clear. Wanted is running on. Shell Scrape making ground. Dewporth on the far side. Wanted has raced up at the 200. Here's Star Spangled Banner coming at him. Headway Nakoni coming home. Wanted the leader with about 50 to go. Nakoni flashing home. Nakoni grabbing Wanted, and Nakoni got up to win. Beat Wanted in the last stride. Photo third, but and then Headway towards the end of the field in company with Nakoni. At the 5 or 350 metre mark and seeking attention is headed off by Burdick and Blues out in the middle from Honest Truth. Star Spangled Banner's in the clear. Wanted is running on. Shell Scrape making ground. Dewporth on the far side. Wanted has raced up at the 200. Here's Star Spangled Banner coming at him. Headway Nakoni coming home. Wanted the leader with about 50 to go. Nakoni flashing home. Nakoni grabbing Wanted, and Nakoni got up to win. Beat Wanted in the last stride. Photo third between Shell Scrape and Star Spangled Banner. Headway from last, and then Dewporth, followed by Cannonball, seeking attention, and Burdick followed in.
he was got a magnificent burst on him, this bloke. He's now unbeaten at 1,000. 4 goes, 4 wins, and he's just a rocket. He really can lift at the end of a sprint race.
Up to Sydney and Melbourne back to Adelaide. He's done a lot of travelling, so I'm not worried about him as long as he's got a companion.
I mean, he was pretty awesome today.
He was got a great turn of foot, Bruce. I switched it, and it's nice when a plan comes off.
It came off.
I'd love to see what he ran his last 600 because he peeled off some pretty quick sectionals, and he finished.
Following on from Testarossa Gold Ace and 2 on the Mighty Scalacci. Second Group 1 for the horse Nakoni, beating Wanted and Shell Scrape. And Damien, you said post-race, I wonder what he ran the last 600 in. It was 32.11, but 11.02 the last furlong. That's low flying, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. And I think he was just really hitting his peak on the line. He hadn't, a lot of horses sort of flatten out the last 200, but he felt like he was hitting top speed near the line. So he really did hit the line strong.
You and he make that look.
He's twice a Group 1 winner. He's got speed. He's got pedigree. And he beat up a vintage crop of 3-year-olds yesterday. There's no doubt about that. We're very strong in the 3-year-old department, and he obviously beat them up. I thought the second horse Wanted, well, his turn's not far off. His last 2 runs, he's second at Group 1 level. He certainly did a terrific job there. And
weeks ago here at Caulfield, there was a place here on Denman in the Wellington Stakes. There you go. That's just a little watch race, isn't it, really, for the Patent Rainer 50. Denman 130-120, and he's been $1.30 since the first markets open on this race.
Being a second last and Chilled by Choice niggled out on the inside as last. Denman coming towards the home turn, under a hold by 3/4 Carrara. Most immediate coming on 3 wide. Sofrosny making ground on the outside as they corner. Denman rolls away from the fence. A couple of horses. He leads by a length and a half. He's in control of the race here at the moment. Carrara's under the whip second. Then most immediate end Sofrosity. But it's Denman now shaken up by McAvoy, going clear by 3. And a lovely big fluent stride. Look at him go. He's a real superstar. Denman won it by 3 lengths. Perhaps a little more to Carrara, most immediate. Either Sofrosity or Chilled by Choice for the 4th. And trailing over on the inside at the end of the field going over was the Handsome One. It's as easy as it gets.
Absolutely. For those who took the $1.30, no issues at all for you. It was a procession, just strolled along in front. Carrara.
That's his level, and Sofrosity, I think, handy.
Yeah, Mark Singh just said off there, that Lonro, it's not funny. He's versatile, 8 wins from 10. I think Peter Snowden will hear it in a moment. You know,
A procession because they were never ever going to have the ability to be able to sit back and run past this horse. He's the real deal. He's a brilliant horse. He's more imposing every time you see him, and Carrara's game. But I'll tell you what, this horse is a very, very good galloper.
There's no doubt about it. And I was so happy to see McAvoy have confidence in him and just say, no, I'm not playing into any tricks you blokes have got up your sleeve for me. I'm on the best horse here. Let's lead. You know, you're allowed to lead on good horses, and you're making more lead looking at him behind the barriers yesterday. I'm still wondering whether he's a miler. He's too brilliant. You know, he did get beaten the Caulfield Guineas. I know it was at the end of a preparation. I'm still saying he might handle them. All depends on so you think, I suppose.
It depends on pace too. About the fillies who are going round here.
Marginal at from 5 to 5.50. And a little bit of a long shot move for the debutante Sheila Star.
Gears, and 2 lengths away is Gelsar as they near the corner, and it's the first starter Psychologist, travelling pretty well around the home turn, a length in front of Melbourne. Sienna Gold on the outside, and Penelope pulled out. Sheila Star the rail. She's got Cheeks, Sweet Cheeks has gone back to the inside trying to weave through, but Psychologist is going well past the 200. 2 lengths clear from Penelope. Melbourne, she's got gears running on no Sweet Cheeks, but Psychologist, have a look at this for a debut. She's bolted in. Psychologist by 4 to She's Got Gears might get the second. Gelsar is with her on the outside making ground. Penelope and Sheila Star over on the fence. Then Sweet Sienna Gold is last. An awesome debut.
Absolutely, Greg. We have a new Blue Diamond player, a serious one at that, trots in class record time on debut, 1:2.67 overall time. She's run outstanding time.
That's why we scratched her from Kyneton last weekend, but I jumped on her on Tuesday and I just went, wow, that was enough for me. The last 3-4 weeks have unfolded. She just kept getting better and better and better. So
It was in the 5 in
shortly, don't worry. 2 is Innocent Gamble, the blinkers session.
Yeah, and getting the buzz through that it's the Sporting Bet market move. Apparently, this last wave of money is a very...
Bennett General Truce in the middle. A length and a half, Innocent Gamble out 3 wide with cover to the turn, followed by Pelazzotti, who's trying to work away clear, and then Benetto held up for a run on the rail. Into the straight now, Secession has been soaking up plenty of pressure. He leads on the rail with General Truce. Songsbird dropped off. Benetto gets into the clear. Pelazzotti on the outside. General Truce has the lead, but here's Benetto winding up now in the Arrowfield colours. It's Benetto taking the lead, drawing away in the Sydney Colt. Wow, he's impressive too. Benetto, 2.5 Pelazzotti, the great and the good. He was great today. Came from last grab third, Secession 4, Pelazzotti weakened. Then
times on the board, 1:2.45. They've gone 2/10 quicker. He had the sweet drop on them and explodes when the run presents itself for him. We're in for a great slipper. Arrowfield sponsor it. Arrowfield have got their runner, Benetto, and Ganderton comes to Melbourne.
It's just exciting to see him do it.
Also, I think the first and 22.78 compares 22.65, so she's run quicker last one. I mean, you can go through that all you like.
The Blue Diamond pedigree by Redutes, who won it. And out of Amir related, of course, to the great Alingi, who won it, beat General Truce, who keeps flying under the radar, the great and the good from back. Time slick on it, slick
yesterday.
Red Diamond for about half an hour yesterday because she went to $4.20. But Benetto claimed top spot.
For race number 5, and this is the Rubiton Stakes. Will it be the 3? That's the market. And 2 toughs at the top and 2 good little girls at the bottom. That's how it shapes up.
Secret. Michelle.
I'm saying that she's a class filly, so you can't rule her out as well.
All right, it's certainly going to be a great race to watch.
Avenue has the lead heading to the 600 metres. Happy Glenn's on her outside, and Lucky Secret is out 3 deep. 2 lengths Golden Dubai over on the inside, and Irish Lights looks to be nicely poised fifth with Heady Angels wider. They're followed by Silver Bullion, and then came Secret Flyer, Rostova, and Grand Sasso. Avenue against the fence, Lucky Secret out wider. Happy Glen between them, battling a little bit in the early part of the straight. Irish Lights was pulled to the outside. Avenue at the 200 with the Lucky Secret on his outside, and he now goes to the lead. Here's Heady Angels and Rostova flying home. It's Lucky Secret in front though from Heady Angels. Lucky Secret from Heady Angels. Heady Angels diving at him. Heady Angels got up and beat Lucky Secret. Photos for third, Rostova, wide out, and Grand Sasso, who made significant ground the rail. Then Avenue. Irish Lights didn't finish off higher.
Course record's gone here, 1173, taking a long-standing record off Intelligent Star, 1.86. What a great old horse he is here, the Angels. Old? Well, he's only 6. Mark Kavanagh joins us immediately after this win. Lucky Secret, good on speed, but Mark...
The top two, as you said, Lucky Secret, terrific on speed. Hit him.
Another Slade Bloodstock team persevering with this 6-year-old who's been a handful for many who have had to deal with him. 11 wins and 20 from 28 starts and more than 650,000 in prize money for
the 1400-metre surface for us here at Caulfield. View's 21, Shocking's 26, Zipping's 15. Typhoon Tracy, $1.40 it went up, out to $1.45.
And they had the tailwinds tracking them around, pushing them around all. 145 and taking it big time. So just before we go up to Greg Miles, we could tell you that this is a sporting bet market mover, number 10. Typhoon Tracy.
Contested lead, a length and a half. Typhoon Tracy staying right on his back though. 2 lengths away, Heart of Dreams. So the two favourites are there, second and third. Sermione getting up on the rail. 1.5 Laturio. Viewed Raffaello zipping and Shocking last when they sweep towards the turn now. Dan's Island almost a length. Sitting quietly, Luke Nolan on Typhoon Tracy. He clicks the mare. She gets up within a half length of the leader. 2 lengths Heart of Dreams tracking her, and then Sermione. Now the balance for home, and Typhoon Tracy level with Dan's Island. 2 lengths Heart of Dreams. Sermione running a big one, but Typhoon Tracy at the 200 shown the whip. She drew a length and a half in front. Heart of Dreams, Sermione are boxing on with Dan's Island. She's too good though, Typhoon Tracy, and a comfortable win in the CF4 by a length and a half. Bob and go between Heart of Dreams and Sermione for the Miners. Dan's Island was fourth. And then came Laturio, battled nicely. Viewed got home. Then Zipping, Raffaello and Shocking towards the tail of the field.
Well, she's won. She's got the job done. $1.30 and $1.40 taken here on course, but she's run very ordinary time on a fast day. 1:24.04. She got a ball coming out, but it's a Group 1 and it's on the mantelpiece.
Yeah, no, exactly. She, is the real deal. Heart of Dreams ran where he was supposed to.
Well done to the connections of Typhoon Tracy, confirming her ranking as the best race mare in the country, one of the best racehorses in the country. 3 Group 1s. Now she's an Open Group 1 winner. Better than them.
Well, certainly, Bruce. They ran the first 800 in 51.2. They run quicker than that in those barrier trials at Cranbourne for the 800 and skipped home in 32.8. So what does it tell us? It probably doesn't tell us any more or any less than what we already knew. As you said, she is the best race mare in the country at the moment, certainly up to a mile.
And they're off on the last event of the day. The first to come out of the gate was Leapfrog, and going fast as Cat Eyes underneath him to join him and hit him. 3 Swallows gets to third in front of Jad, and they're followed then by Fire Drake. Friday Nights is next, a little bit wide, going to the first corner around Life Boy, which is in the middle. Buzz Henry's on the rail. Age of Heroes on the fence, worse than midfield. Outside it, Ban Ruby. And then going up 3 deep on the track, and Leapfrogs between them. 3 Swallows on the fence, fourth. Friday Nights a little bit deep, and they're followed by Jad, Buzz Henry. A couple to Life Boy, he looks to be going all right to me. Age of Heroes tracking up on its inside, followed by Ban Ruby Bringelli. Further back came Futures Dream, Unintentional and Socialist. They're homeward bound, and Cat Eyes leads at the 300 metres mark. In front of Leapfrog, 3 follows, followed by Jad, Fire Drake, Friday Nights, and Life Boy and Age of Heroes coming down the outside. Many with a chance. Cat Eyes still the leader. Leapfrog, here's Life Boy and Age of Heroes. They're flying. Age of Heroes and Life Boy go to the lead, but Age of Heroes is too strong. Beat Life Boy. Cat Eyes is third. Photo fourth. Buzz Henry, Jad or Leapfrog. Leapfrog, 3 follows, followed by Jad, Fire Drake, Friday Nights, and Life Boy and Age of Heroes coming down the outside. Many with a chance. Cat Eye still the leader. Leapfrog, here's Life Boy and Age of Heroes. They're flying. Age of Heroes and Life Boy go to the lead, but Age of Heroes is too strong. Beat Life Boy. Cat Eyes is third. Photo fourth. Buzz Henry, Jad or Link together, but Age of Heroes was just a little bit too strong. Number
The movement in the gates. Now we're right. They're racing. Switchblade slow to go. Rocketman midfield away. YB Capablanca. Rocketman striding up on the outside. Amadeus Mozart takes the house. They're starting to pack up behind Rocketman. In fact, they've moved up to join him. Coming towards the bend. Rocketman with the inside running. Capablanca. Mooring sprints quickly on the outside as they turn into the stretch. And then Perfect Sky. Robbie Fradd sitting quietly. Gives him a little bit more rain. And Rocketman goes on with it. 200 metres to go. Rocketman drops them off as if they weren't there. He's 3 lengths on Mooring, then Capablanca and Perfect Sky, but it's to infinity and beyond for Rocketman. He looks after him down to the one, puts him back on the bit, and Rocketman scores by 5. Second, Switchblade storming home. He's in a photo there with Capablanca, Perfect Sky, and Mooring. Behind those, well, if there were any doubts about him first up, there were none at the 300-metre mark because he just dropped them off.
Australia's boom galloper Black Caviar has suffered a leg injury, forcing her out of the autumn. The unbeaten and that
With Extra Zero. The favourite, though, is Linton. There's the tote call on your screen now, $3, please. And the only other horse in the betting is the favourite, Linton. At 380 on course, but 450 the market mover is off-handed. This should be a good race as we go to Greg for the Top Cut Alistair Clark Stakes.
Take the Rap about to come along. Here's Linton currently holding favouritism. 4 into 370 with the bookmakers and 380 on fittest set. Cosmocrat moving up 3 deep on the outside of Extra Zero. A length and a half away, then Linton tracking into it. Being followed then by Prost second last, and last on the inside, Take the Rap. So, up the side, at the heads, a half in front, off-handed second. Viking Hero moved to third. Cosmocrat wider out from Full Metal Jacket back on the rail, and then came Set. Extra 0-5 off the leader. Linton taking off around the field. He's running on strongly. And then Take the Rap and Prost to the turn they race now. Off-handed Cosmocrat, Viking Hero tackling at the heads. Linton just off them, followed by Extra Zero, and then came Take the Rap. Off-handed and Cosmocrat come around the turn together with Linton swooping out wider. At the heads trying to fight back into the straight now. Linton out wide has raced up to off-handed, and at the heads is fighting back, but it's Linton in front. Take the Rap coming home, off-handed fighting on, but Linton stands up and wins it brilliantly on the line by a length and a half. Either Take the Rap off-handed or at the heads have kicked back for the minor end of the prize, and then connects Frost back there in company with Full Metal Jacket.
Well, perhaps another star is born for Team Williams here and Michael Rod. Don't go too soon on the comparisons with Efficient. There's a lot to like about the way this horse is progressing off a big mate for them. It's really went the deep end.
All our staff up there were very keen for him to run. They think he's something special, and I'm not sure. We're hopeful with this bloke. He's certainly done as much as we could ask of him at this stage. We bought him at the Ready to Run sale in New Zealand. It was another great episode.
I want to be a star.
Well, hang on. Glenn Boss rode him his first start. He might have a better idea of than us. So what do you make of him, Glenn?
Yeah, I think he's a real deal, this horse. He's not even anywhere near furnished yet. I rode his first start in the race, as you say, and I rang Lloyd and I said I'd run over a mile of broken glass to ride this horse because I think he's an absolute star. He's got an amazing action.
But chances was very, very good indeed. It had to get back and to the point.
He's an outstanding racehorse, It's a shame he's going. And I know why he bought them all now, because he is an absolute pearl of that horse. I can't wait for him in the spring.
It's coming up for the big 6 here. Yes.
Got anybody left?
Sarita, $1.70. Fair to say, if this goes under, in the moon.
Silver City Miss, Divine Rebel. Shells Alibi pokes up on the outside, and Zarita one away from the rail, trying to work a passage through. She's cluttered up for a run as Princess Maritza went from last to first at the school in a twinkling. Michelle Payne dashing Princess Maritza, a length and a half in front of Rolling Stock Casual Friday. Then came Divine Rebel. Zarita back second or third last. She's in traffic problems coming up towards the turn, the favourite. Here's Divine Rebel after Princess Maritza as they swing around the turn. She put her nose in front. Then came Casual Friday. Now Zarita gets into the clear. She's coming down the outside. Princess Maritza again went to the lead. But here's Zarita with giant bounds grabbing the lead. That's another great win. Zarita beat Princess Maritza by a neck and a photo third. Divine Rebel or Silver City Miss with Pagan Prick at the end of the field. Shell's Alibi.
Well, no wonder the punt drives her to drink at some stage. Pat said the only thing that could beat her would be bad luck. She got all that. She still won. A the stop stakes here.
To beat that class of horse.
Geez, the punters that laid the short prices there, look, they could have smoked 2 cigarettes while that race was being run with the panic that was setting in there, the position that she was in, where Stephen Arnold was back there smoking his peace pipe. He was just cool as a cucumber. She's earned a crack at the Australian Cup. She's a great mare, and she'll perform well in that race. A great ride and a great call. I thought a great call by Greg Miles there.
I reckon the real highlights of the calendar coming up here at Royal Randwick. This is the Lightfingers Stakes, and we have, well, Group 2 for the 3-year-old fillies. We have a class field again, and the favourite, More Joyous. Well, she was a dom. Here's Mark Sheehan for the call of the Lightfingers.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. More Joyous on the nose, downstairs out to $2.20 now. Nara back last of all. Nash took the favourite to the front. And More Joyous sped away at the 800, led by 2 lengths on Trim. He'll drop in behind it, prerequisite third. Then about 2, Nara last of all. More Joyous the leader as they come to the 450. Trim a length and a half away second, still about 2 lengths to prerequisite third. And the others are headed by Sweepstaking. More Joyous angling out about 5 off the inside. She's going well. Trim's about 2 lengths away. McAvoy starting to urge her along to come after the leader. And she's starting to eat into the lead now. More Joyous in front. He's flat on the More Joyous. Trim's flat also behind it. More Joyous is hanging onto the lead. She'll lead all the way. More Joyous. Gay's Golden Girl's back and she wins it well from Trim. Sweepstaking got third. Then prerequisite. Followed further back by Indian Ocean running on late.
She skipped away from her rivals. As I said in the spring, you won't see anything but her heels this preparation.
But today, she was dominant for the race at a slow 7, which is bordering on heavy, that she ran 198. They quickly made an announcement, slow 6.
Yeah, but the races after, they ran 8/10 slower. She went that good. I think Trim and Sweepstaking ran the races of their lives, and More Joyous just murdered them. So it was an astonishing performance.
Karen McAvoy, I said...
You've got a big opinion of the first 2.
Oh, look, she's outstanding. She's outstanding. I think she's a class here. Look, she's bred to stay. All through her pedigree is just stay. Good Melbourne Cup sort of pedigree here, like Shootout. She's brilliant. She's too brilliant. This is a Don.
Rain, the half-brother to Redute's Choice. He's resuming here, and he is a short price favourite for the Royal Sovereign.
Yep, a lot of people think he's getting out to good odds, and of course we did get
forward. There has been some money for Shootout, as Richard pointed out. He didn't have a great deal of luck at the Gold Coast his last start. Legend is the leader. He's still working on More Than Great in second spot from Delago Bold. At the head of the others, Shootout from Gathering the Mikado. Manhattan Rain comes to the outside. He's still about 5 or 6 off the leader, which is his stablemate Viking Legend. Has he pinched a march? He's in front. More Than Great coming after them with Delago Bold. Manhattan Rain is still coming down the outside, but More Than Great got level with Viking Legend. Shootout is starting to burst through in the centre. More Than Great's just in front, and More Than Great will win it from Shootout. More Than Great beat Shootout and Viking Legend, and then came Delago Bolt. Then came Manhattan Rain.
The Royal Sovereign. He's beaten home on the outside. Well, at one stage looked like Shootout might have been the winner, and third placing to Viking Legend. And Manhattan Rain, well, he did call.
Terrific, mate. Big thrill. You said you wanted to see him hitting the line hard. Well, he was. He hit it hard. Yeah, he's good horse, mate. It was.
Glyn Schofield shortly cost us $15,000 as a yearling. En route to the AJC Derby now by High Chaparral, of course, the sire of So You Think.
Just looking back through the records, only one horse has figured in the Derby out of this race, Danewin, many years ago. It hasn't been a race that has produced horses that go on to the Derby, but Viking Legend.
Wouldn't you, Denman? He is the favourite for the next race coming up here at Caulfield this afternoon. And this is the Durban. With Durban great suits not bringing themselves undone. One bloke clearly watching this race is Peter Moody, not just for Hanks, but to see how good Denman goes so he can...
On the outside, Denman slowed the speed, coming up the side into the breeze at the 600. A length and a half clear. Guru Bob second. Trounce on the inside of Italian Machine. 2 lengths away, Spacecraft, Exclusive Choice, Most Immediate, Hanks and King Diamond. Denman coming around the home turn. The leader, a length and a half, Guru Bob. Then Italian Machine when they flatten for the run-in. Trounce over on the rails. Spacecraft doing nothing, most immediate making ground, but Denman cruising at the 200. Opened up 2-3 now on Guru Bob. Most immediate, Hanks is running on, Trout's battling away, but what a real superstar this 3-year-old is. It's Denman by 3, eased up to Guru Bob and most immediate for the Miners. Fourth placing, anything for that. King Diamond Spacecraft, Hanks there.
Well, way too good. Denman, $1.20 on Super Tab, $1.24 the bookies. Only scare, slight one of that was at the start. Quickly put that behind him. Times average, 123.38.
He had a soft win, actually. I was glad to see that. We're going into our grand final in 2 weeks, and it's good to not have a gut buster on the way through. So we've done our job. He's doing his job. He's got one more to go.
Speed to 111.5. It suggests to me that.
Another glorified trial there for Denman. No knock on him. 9 wins from 11 starts, and one punter had 250. I wonder how you'd line him up.
On favourite, falls on his last 2 starts, and he's ridden him like the best horse in the race. That was nothing more than a hand canter, and he'll win the Australian Guineas just as easy, I reckon, Mark.
Yeah, well, he's got the colts covered. I suppose Set to Fame's going to be maybe the testing material out of the foot odds to find out. But if you want to lay it on again, good as gold.
Ben Clarkey just...
And it looks I'll tell you what, if he doesn't run Set for Fame in the Guineas, it's going to be a very skinny market, $1.40 and 5.
Probably. The horse is a superstar. I don't think it matters what he do to him. He just relaxes in races and he just makes those horses look like they're in another class, and they are. But he's, for me, he's the real deal.
Yeah, look, bring on the Guineas. Look, to think that he's $1.35 in the Australian Guineas, that's an embarrassment. This is an all-in market. He could pull up with the temperature or not get there on race day. Anyone that takes that price has got rocks in their head. If
Too far away. Which means we're not far away from the Group 1 Arrowfield Start Blue Diamond Stakes. This is the feature 2-year-old race of the season in Victoria, of course. It's been going for 40 years, the Blue Diamond race. I suppose that's what Zara's doing on Psychologist. I mean, he was saying during the week that he doesn't think he needs to just jump and muscle. He can jump, take that time. He thinks the horse can settle, but I think she's going to have to press.
Further back in the field is Secession. Then She's Got Gears a good way back over on the inside from Star Witness, Legalistic. And Evidentia is last. It's Crystal Lily at the 600 metres, leading by a half. Spirit Scent, General Truce and Chehek is poised in behind them, followed by Roulettes as they come around the home turn, and then Sweet Cheeks and Psychologist. Then came Beneteau pulling to the outside, about 7 away from the leader. Crystal Lily in front, Chehek pouncing, and then General Truce. They're followed by Roulettes, and then came Psychologist, and She's Got Gears in the straight. Beneteau's a good way back. It's Crystal Lily in front, but Chehek's the big danger now, and she's raced up at the 200 metres. Then Psychologist, Beneteau and Star Witness. It's Shahik with 100 metres to go, getting the upper hand. Star Witness, Beneteau. Star Witness is flying home. Star Witness has got up to win. What a huge win, grabbing Shahik on the line. Beneteau by Roulettes, and then came Psychologist, and She's Got Gears in the straight. Beneteau's a good way back. It's Crystal Lily in front, but Shahik's the big danger now, and she's raced up at the 200 metres. Then Psychologist, Beneteau and Star Witness. It's Shahik with 100 metres to go, getting the upper hand. Star Witness, Beneteau. Star Witness is flying home. Star Witness has got up to win. What a huge win, grabbing Shahik on the line. Beneteau or on the inside, Willow Creek for the minor end of the prize. Then Crystal Lily, Psychologist. One of the last to go over. A huge run from Star Witness for Nick Hall to win.
Well, it's a stunning performance here by Star Witness, and Nick Hall gets the Group 1, and Danny O'Brien. Hall gets the Group 1, and Danny O'Brien does it with an outstanding performance. Danny, exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a lot of confidence in this colt. He does things that only really top-class horses can do. Even when he was sort of so far off him, I knew what sort of furlong he can run at the finish, and fortunately he did it. It's a very raw, that he's not your average sort of just 2-year-old that can win a Blue Diamond. We think he's a horse with a lot more scope than that, and hopefully we've got a really exciting colt to race on next season. He's a Magic Millions horse. And
Myself, Chinchilla Rose from the family, going around here a bit later on, but a lot of starcraft about that horse. Well done to all involved. Almaval Bloodstock.
You've got the celebrations rolling, really. Pinch 500 for the exuberant display over the line.
Yeah, money well spent.
I would have thought so.
Around these 2-year-old races. So
50, 70 metres from the line, do you have a sense of that you're going to get there?
yeah, certainly 100 out or 70 out. I was pretty confident I was going to get there, and hence the early salute.
Your father won the race.
It's always easy to get excited about early 2-year-old form, but this horse, geez, he looks the real thing. Look, he only switched him off for about 400 metres there. He still looks a work in progress, this horse. Am I right?
Yeah, I think you're right, Ronnie. He did a lot wrong at Flemington. That's affecting him on the day. But I think the real exciting part about him is that last 200 sectional that he can reel off, and it gives you a lot of hope that he's not just going to be a one-dimensional sort of two-year-old, and that next year at 3 and hopefully beyond, we've got a really high-class horse.
Yeah, opens the door now for the Group 1 Sporting Bet, Oakley Plate, and the return of the champ, Weekend Hustler, 7-time Group 1 winner, a year plus off the scene. Wearing some boots today.
Win this race at the 3-year-old. He beat year-olds engaged. Midway moving in. Peter Moody King tackling the race at West Champ.
By Aaron Austin, then came Weekend Hustler and Grand Sasso, and 2 lengths to Ticket. 600 left to go. Avenue by about a neck here to Grand Deals the inside. Poised a length and a half away, Star Spangled Banner. Then Swift Alliance a length and a half to Wanted. Being followed then by Eagle Falls, Lucky Secret, Headway getting up on the inside, and then Heady Angels and Weekend Hustler. Avenue tackled by Grand Deals, Star Spangled Banner in the straight. Then Swift Alliance, Eagle Falls, Wanted going for a gap, and Lucky Secret coming late. Star Spangled Banner leads a charge with Avenue getting up along the inside. Headway flashing home. Eagle Falls starting to swamp them now. Aranos pushing through. What's going to win this? They hit the line. Photo between Star Spangled Banner, Aranos and Heady Angels. Star Spangled Banner leads a charge with Avenue getting up along the inside. Headway flashing home. Eagle Falls starting to swamp them now. Aranos pushing through. What's going to win this? They hit the line. Photo between Star Spangled Banner, Aranos and Heady Angels. I couldn't pick that. That's a ripping finish, and Wanted is just off them. Weekend Hustler worked home encouragingly in Sasso and Grand Deals. What a finish.
No idea, Greg. No idea. They're all over. It looks like Star Spangled Banner. Number 6 gets it here. Star Spangled Banner. Number 6 gets it here. And if you thought there was big scenes after the previous win of Star Witness, see if you can get some of the shots here of these boys. They did it on Caulfield Guineas Day last year. They've done it today. Can you hear that, Shane?
Can hear it, and we can now see it. This is amazing. 2 stars in a row of one. Star Witness and Star Spangled Banner. About 4 million owners in the
outset when he won the Inglis race there on Cox Plate Day a couple of years ago. At 2 years of age, a beautiful looking Calder Caulfield Guineas winner, now an Oakley Plate winner. There we are. There's Team Dineyard, some big names of racing returning to the track here, and probably none bigger than Assessio. This horse, a multiple. He's out to 90 to 1 on course. Stanley, $8 on course by Mujahid for Chris Waller. He won the All-Aged. He won the Manikato Stakes in the spring, and the All-Age win was second up last autumn.
I think he's out to silly odds now, Dan Lee. We're underestimating him because of that run last time. He did a couple of trials this time back.
The Turf Sunline have won the Apollo Stakes.
He goes into the ring. He's a Sporting Bet market mover from the top.
800 to go. Crossed over and led from Thessio, and then came a daft. Rangi Rangdu is pushing up in the middle, and they've got Rock Kingdom left out 3 wide, and then came O'Lonro. He's found a nice spot on the back of them in about 6th, and then 2 lengths to Vision and Power, followed by Purple. Dan Lee's getting his ears scrubbed off, and then Roman Emperor. Alco pops about 12 off the lead. He's starting a run now, followed by Palacio to Crystal, and No Wine, No Song. A Rangi Rangdu, the favourite, burst onto the scene to race up and hit the lead and shot to the front from McClintock. He wants to hang in a little bit, Rangi Rangdu, but he's got McClintock's measure at the moment. Then came Hadar, followed by Rock Kingdom, and Dan Lee is starting to scorch down the outside. Rangi Rangdu led with 100 metres to go. Dan Lee's got him, I think, on the outside, has he? Dan Lee charging up and won the money. Dan Lee beat Rangi Rangdu. Palacio to Crystal 3rd. Then came a dance to hang in a little bit, Rangi Rangdu, but he's got McClintock's measure at the moment. Then came Hadar, followed by Rock Kingdom, and Dan Lee is starting to scorch down the outside. Rangi Rangdu led with 100 metres to go. Dan Lee's got him, I think, on the outside, has he? Dan Lee charging up and won the money. Dan Lee beat Rangi Rangdu. Palacio to Crystal 3rd. Then came a Darth and Vision and Power, followed by Roman Emperor. Then McClintock and Thessio from Rock Kingdom, Alco Pop and Purple O'Lonro.
He got the chocolates for me. When he got past that, more Group 1 racing action coming from Caulfield.
And Power.
In a tough run race.
As racehorses only, which one would you take out of the race if they said you can have one?
Oh, look, it's got to be Rangi Rangdu, because he did the donkey work and was just nutted by the horse that ambushed him.
Yep.
Jesus, Palacio to Crystal was fantastic there.
She was good.
Terrific.
She's lifted a few cogs this preparation on the last.
Comes up with Typhoon Tracy totally dominating
the market. You've got Typhoon Tracy on the tote. Look at that, $1.30, 150, 130, 160.
Last on the inside and a length to Dow Dow. 600 left to go. Joku by a length. Barbaricus on the inside of Typhoon Tracy. A length and a half Lord Tavistock. Sniper's Bullet poking up on the inside as they're bunching before the turn, and two to Dow Dow. Barbaricus railing through as joining the leaders. Typhoon Tracy on the outside of Joku. They come around the turn now, and Nolan asked Typhoon Tracy for the big effort. Barbaricus is going with her. Dow Dow threads through. He's coming with his run. Typhoon Tracy the leader though. She's nearly a length in front. Sniper's Bullet on the scene down the outside. Dow Dow boxing on, but Typhoon Tracy will blow them away in the futurity and score by 2 lengths. Dow Dow second, Sniper's Bullet third. Close fourth, Barbaricus and Lord Tavistock, and Joku dropped out to last.
Oh, she's one tough girl. She looked down for the count at certain stages. Peter Moody's right. The tougher the battle, the better she fights. She dropped the bit coming to the corner.
And of course, record here, 134.43 as opposed to 134.28. Peter Moody, winning trainer.
A beauty.
She's unbeatable up to this distance. You'd think, Bruce, at the moment in this country at least, near record time yesterday, and I think it was her career best performance. Almost shades of...
You've got to be in great admiration of her.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic mare, and she just keeps crushing good fields of horses, and now she's skipping it all.
3 successive Group 1s. Now, if you'd like to see...
Up on the inside, but I'm taking nothing away from the great mare. She is absolutely fantastic, and even Snipe.
Absolutely outstanding mare, as you say, Alf. I can't give her enough credit. Like Joku poured the pressure on there at the 6 or 7 at the 700 metre mark. She had to chase him down and then keep going after hitting a flat spot. And they're within 2.28 of the course record there. She is a ripper.
I thought she...
750 on course, nice and sold in the market. Danley 650 to 6, back to 650. Roman Emperor 31 to $26. Oh, 950 out to $11. Rangi Rangdu, the firm favourite, 290 into 280, then back out to 290. Theme No Wine, No Song, 300 to 1. Money coming for number 11, Speed Gifted. Lee Friedman's already won a race here with Dame Julie. Can he make it a double for the stable, Speed Gifted? Purple.
They're racing in the Chipping Norton, and a good dispatch. Speed Gifted and Vision and Power drifting towards the rear shortly after the start, and Thesio and Rock Kingdom were the best two out. Rangi Rangdu settling up with them in third. Midfield now, Roman Emperor starting a run out wider on the track as No Wine, No Song starts to go back. Then Vision and Power. Danley's got a lot of work to do. He's still about 8 or 10 off the lead, and Road to Rock's back at the rear. Into the straight, and Thesio the leader from Rock Kingdom. Rangi Rangdu goes for the inside runners. The other two go wider. They're 3 lengths on Purple and Speed Gifted. Thesio the leader coming to the 200. Rock Kingdom on his outside, and the favourite Rangi Rangdu comes up along the rail. It's Thesio and Rangi Rangdu. Tooth and nail struggle. Rangi Rangdu on the inside is getting level with Thesio. They come to the post. There's nothing in it. Thesio might have bobbed. It's a photo. Hang on to your tickets, Thesio or Rangi Rangdu. In behind them, Danley might have got up for third in front of Premium Over and Road to Rock. And then came Rock Kingdom.
Magnificent racehorse. Rangi Rangdu is as well. Thesio the winner. Thesio takes out the Patnack Farm Chipping Norton Stakes for Gay Waterhouse and Star Thoroughbreds. What a great form of Nash.
He's back to
Farm Chipping Norton. Congratulations to Star Thoroughbreds. Denise Martin picked up this horse at the Magic Millions sale for $120,000. Well done, Denise.
I think Thesio's shown in his career that he's tough. I'm a number 1 fan club holder of Rangi Rangdu, but he stopped. He turned it up. I tell you where Dan Lee was unlucky. Here we went back to the fence at about the 800 to follow Speed Gifted, who made the run. But as Speed Gifted went through, and Huey wanted to follow him through, Prima Nova let Speed Gifted through, then rolled back to the fence, and Huey had nowhere to go. He was the unlucky runner, Dan Lee. That was his first defeat on a slow track. If there's any rain around come George Ryder Day, I think he'll be winning, Dan Lee. I think he showed yesterday that no worries about the mile mark, and that's where he'll head, no doubt. George Ryder, Doncaster.
Yeah, I think... I don't know about this Rangi Rangdu. I don't know. I'm sort of got him
not
on
a good horse?
Well, I'm going to retire him into the Imposter de Largo and Zagreb paddock if he keep this up.
You think he's not genuine?
Well, he's done it more than 2 or 3 occasions now.
Well, he just keeps running places.
Well, he's got to win a major, and he had his opportunity there because he had a fitness edge. He had the right
run. A bit out.
Well, he come to win here. He's
slow going.
Yeah, well, he's he's an A+ grade as Thesio, and I don't think Rangi Rangdu will ever beat his stablemate again, Dan Lee. Dan Lee was a certainty beaten in that race. It was nothing went right. I don't know why.
Coming up here, Dino, 4 minutes from the Alambi Classic Group 2. Some pretty smart speedsters going around here. Dean, how's the market shape up?
I'll tell you what that.
Followed by Clocked, and then came Deneb. As they make the home turn to the 500 out wide, Too Many Reds from Rivers Lane, Majestic Music and Bit Ma. They're about to straighten in the Alambi. Hoona still the leader from Sister Madley. Luce Del Mare needs a run. Wider out on the track, About Me, Deeper Luminous Harmony. Happy Hippie back to the inside. There's a bumping duel going on. Believe in More, Deneb. And down the outside, Majestic Music is starting to absolutely drop upon them. Here comes Majestic Music. It's flying out wide. Sister Madley the leader, but Majestic Music overhauling it. Sister Madley, Majestic Music, hands and heels. Lindop punched it out, got there. What a win. Sensational win, Majestic Music. It beat Sister Madley. Third in, I'd say, Happy Hippie from Luminous Harmony. It's a photo there. Then Bit Ma followed Gap Away, Clocked at the tail end. A sensational victory by a very, very good horse.
Oh, there's a market for the next race here. This is the CUNY Stakes, of course, now run at, at 1,400 metres. Favourite today. What about the old champ taking over target? Many around looking at him.
There's a lot of people around, and we had to.
Here's Greg Miles.
The Oaks in Wakefield awkwardly placed as they approached the turn, and then Response and Faint Perfume last of all. Baby Corn from the outside barrier. It crossed over and had the lead coming before the home turn. Rostover is up second. Gygas right behind the leader is third. Trim is fourth, and No Evidence Needed has been on a wide run. They're followed by Europa Point about midfield. Fomalites on the rail, Response out deeper. Irish Lights shuffled out to last, and Faint Perfume is just ahead of her in the straight now. Baby Corn from Rostover, and then Trim, who's called on for her run. Gygas trying to find a way clear. Wider, No Evidence Needed, and Irish Lights playing for luck is getting up on the inside. No Evidence Needed went to the lead. Faint Perfume and Response are coming. Trim got through. Irish Lights is getting up on the inside. Don't know where to look here. No Evidence Needed. Irish Lights right through. Faint Perfume out wider. Faint Perfume's getting home the best. Faint Perfume wins first up from either Response, who's out wide. Irish Lights on the fence. No Evidence Needed and Trim. They're all up there for a place from Gygas. Then Rostover, Europa Point. Baby Corn weakens to second last. Fomalite last.
Too much class here. The Oaks winner back in brilliant form. They've landed some big bets. $12 into $5.50. Faint Perfume. Too strong, Shane.
Yes, he is. Bart Cummings is right here alongside you. Bruce, why don't you have a chat to it? Unsuspecting bookmakers who bet $12 and $9 about the Oaks winner in the Bart Cummings stable. When he comes to these weekends, he is a great trainer of these.
Talk to Bart in the breeze, but going forward, I think Faint Perfume is the only one you want to really follow.
Yeah, she was a gelding that's standing out in the staying ranks, so she might be up to it.
Performances. Response was a good race on paper. The bunch finish just puts you off a little, but she's a good filly. It's good to see her back. She was the biggest street corner tip of all time for the past few days. Obviously, I didn't listen. I should have, but should have. But good filly. Can't wait to see her back in Sydney. She's not big.
It's a bit of. He's got back. The weather's turned. That forecast is pretty much spot on. For the turn, it's dropped quite a lot in temperature. Straight back into the mounting yard here.
And Brad just did the star leap off him.
Yeah, well done to them. There's some serious lightning over the Footscray side of the track here, Shane, which is ain't too far away.
This race is going to be run in the nick of time as they start to load the gates well.
And they're going to be serious about what we're going to do after this.
Settling down, and it's Wanted, who's coming up the middle of the course with the lead after going about 300 metres. He leads from Star Spangled Banner. Just in behind them, King Pulse is handily poised, and they're followed by Dewporth a little bit wider out. Just behind those horses then is Headway not too far away. Shell Scraper's plotting a course virtually up the middle of the course on its lonesome. Back behind them is Light Fantastic, and they're being followed by Aranos, 5-car stud. Well back in the field is All Silent. He's back towards the tail, and Grand Sasso is pulled to the outside. Cannonball was back there last. 300 metres to go. Star Spangled Banner raced up to Wanted. Eagle Falls is joining in, and then came King Pulse, and further back was Headway, and then Dewporth and Aranos. Wanted kicking on strongly. Star Spangled Banner can't go on. Eagle Falls is coming home strongly now. It's Wanted being tackled by Eagle Falls. Wanted by 3/4, holding on from Eagle Falls. Wanted in front, and Wanted won the new market. Eagle Falls second. Star Spangled Banner for third ahead of King Pulse. Just behind those was Turfontaine, followed in by behind these to finish in the race was Toll Esprit, Dewporth, Headway, Aranos, and not too far away was Trusting. Further back in the field was Nakoni, Never a Chance, nor Light Fantastic. Grand Sasso, All Silent Ardent didn't come on. Tickets and El Segundo.
The wind started to fall into him in very gloomy conditions here, but he gets it. It was a strange race to watch, an eerie race to watch. But Peter Moody, a very important one for him and for his future.
Well, he's an exceptionally well-bred horse. You know, there's probably no better performed or no more consistent sprinter in the land, and
It looked like he might win. And Bruce, I've never seen a crowd scatter like this.
Well, this is very, very nasty conditions here, Sammy. Wind's blowing sideways now. It's black. Sort of like Armageddon's about to hit us here.
Bruce. Well, like 45 minutes ago here, Sammy, it was a clear blue sky. The sun was shining. It is now black as the ocean.
And I had a sweat up.
And it is absolutely pouring, even though it's blowing. These are really poor conditions. Lukey's not worried.
We'll get a chat to.
Let's see those shots. The race day live, and let's see those shots. That is Flemington. Let's see those shots. Saw those shots of the big hailstorm before the Crown Guineas. Well, they won't be racing on that. I think there's going to be quite a delay. We've heard certain vehicles being hit by lightning out there, and there are the patrons taking cover whichever way they can. Don't forget that bottle of champers. That's the most important thing. Look at that weather down there in Melbourne. That is like snow. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And
This was worse because hailstones at one stage the size of golf balls, and really, this is the most amazing storm I've seen in Melbourne probably in my lifetime.
Well, true.
Yeah, the Weather Bureau have been very good to us, and they said it's the worst they've ever seen in their experience.
Well, Shane says it's worse than Vanderham. So
worse than Vanderham, the worst storm I've seen of that kind in Melbourne in my life.
I'll take your word for that.
Newmarket trying to get out of the rain, and she just went completely, as you would expect the following words to come.
Yes, sure. Bottom. She flipped on the bottom.
That's correct. It's pretty strange scenes there, wasn't it? You can see the steam coming off the track. Well, here we go. She was the star of the show yesterday. I've had many requests to have this replayed again, so in the interest of the viewer, bang.
Little girl, that's unfair. Hope she's all right.
I went straight.
Little girl, that's unfair. Hope she's all right.
I went straight over.
Unbelievable scenes at Flemington after they ran the Newmarket. No sooner had the horses come back to the mounting yard when it started, and there were hailstones as big as golf balls coming down, and they were coming down and bouncing 3 feet in the air when they were really coming down at speed. And horses were scattering everywhere. Horses got away. One of the very lucky horses, a couple of horses weren't so lucky. King Pulse is in a bit of strife, and
Flemington for finally the running of the Guineas postponed from last week. Another bet of $150,000 with Sporting Bet on Denman. So we've had two bets today in the last half hour. One of 100,000, one of 150. The confidence is there for massive bets in the last half to 3/4 of an hour. $100,000. One bet.
Denman stands okay. They're off-hand racing now, and he did miss the start a little bit. Denman, he seemed to bob his head, and he was slow by almost a length, and he kicks forward now. Guru Bob Carrara first out from Set for Fame, retaining the inside. Booting around them now, Denman. He's going to get up and sit outside of Guru Bob Carrara third. Set for Fame fourth. A length further back in the field then came Rock Classic, being trailed a length and a half, most immediate. And over on the inside, Chief of Staff. And 2 lengths away is Lenton as the Guineas field is on the swing for home. And McAvoy now allowing Denman a little more rain, and he takes a slender lead from Guru Bob. Carrara right behind them with Set for Fame. Rock Classic on the outside. They're swinging for home now. They're followed by most immediate, Chief of Staff, and still 2 lengths to Linton at the end of the field. Denman leading narrowly. Carrara goes with him on the outside. Set for Fame getting up on the rail. And here's Rock Classic. He swamps them on the outside now. Denman under siege at the 200. Rock Classic race to him. Set for Fame getting up on the inside. Wider Linton coming, but it's Rock Classic in front with 100 to go. Kicked away by a length and a half. Set for Fame trying hard, but Rock Classic part wins it. Rock Classic beats Set for Fame by a length. Linton a length third. Denman back in 4th placing, followed by Carrara and most immediate. Chief of Staff and Guru Bob is last home.
How do you beat Bart? Way too good. Congratulations to Bart Cummings. He wins the Guineas for the first time, I think. Fantastic performance. Bart Cummings.
Absolutely. Let's have a look. Denman, he was unbalanced.
Yeah, what he tried to do then. This was quite arrogant, really.
It was, Bruce. I don't know about Michael Rod shaking his head when he turned his head at about the 600 to look at what was happening, probably having a look for the grey horse on the left of picture there, and didn't see him immediately in his wake. and he was impressive. The filly was good, and obviously Lytton, who did run home in 33.6 after just wanting to throw his head up for the first 400 metres or so.
And victory in Barton. We'll send this down to Melbourne. Of course, So You Think was still on the agenda at that stage. So good luck to you, Bart. 70 to 1 at that stage. He's just a freak, Bart, isn't he?
Well, look, there's no doubt. I'd love to own the winner, but I'd also love to own Lytton. He looks just like come the spring, I think, come the real good horse, Mark.
From now on.
Yeah, so what do we make of them? And Caulfield, he was scratching the barriers yesterday again. He was a bit iffy in the barrier.
You couldn't back him in a mile race. And maybe, of course, he'd been beating Guru Bob and Most Immediate. They weren't in the frame yesterday. Maybe that form was a bit flattering.
How good is he?
Very serious horse. He's an outstanding field, and no one in their wildest dreams could think that Rock Classic could put paid to that field the way he did. He had them covered on the turn. She was sensational, the second filly. She just followed the right horse, but he didn't kick at the right time, and she just lost a bit of momentum, but she didn't throw it away. She's outstanding, set for fame. And well, what about the sectionals? Linton rallied off there in that race. He is a star for the spring. There's no doubt about it.
Classic up, Bart up. Fantastic for Michael Rod. Here's the Australian Cup. And what a lineup.
Sir Midas and Eustace in the Guineas all placed.
Well, he's got Sirmione to go here and Moatees, and there's nothing the great man couldn't do today. He has had 2 winners on the cup.
Barbaricus has the lead, 1,000 metres to go in the Australian Cup. He's 3/4 of a length clear. Divine Rebel running second, 2 lengths away. Heart of Dreams, a beautiful trail on the inside of Zarita. A length and a half further back, Miss Barron to Beacon there, followed by Zipping's been wide all the way, improves his place at the 800. Then Master O'Reilly's a Greb, and they're followed by Latorio, Growl, Extra Zero, Sirmione. He's still second last, sweeping up towards the turn, and Moatees. They're about to swing for home. Barbaricus being joined by Miss Marin out wide. Zarita and Divine Rebel are there. They stretch across the track about 4. Followed further back in the field by Heart of Dreams, looking for the way clear. Extra Zero was next and zipping under the whip, and Latorio putting in a run, and Sirmione coming down the outside now. 250 metres to go. Divine Rebel, Barbaricus down on the inside. Zipping Latorio, Sirmione and Miss Marin coming out wide. They're right across the track, and here it's Zipping and Sirmione from Heart of Dreams. Sirmione and Zipping. Sirmione's getting to Zipping. Sirmione Zipping. Kick nearly a dead heat between them. Zipping and Sirmione. Close for third too. Clear. Extra Zero was next and zipping under the whip, and Latorio putting in a run, and Sirmione coming down the outside now. 250 metres to go. Divine Rebel, Barbaricus down on the inside. Zipping Latorio, Sirmione and Miss Marin coming out wide. They're right across the track, and here it's Zipping and Sirmione from Heart of Dreams. Sirmione and Zipping. Sirmione's getting to Zipping. Sirmione Zipping. Kick nearly a dead heat between them. Zipping and Sirmione. Close for third too. Heart of Dreams the inside, and Moatees flashed home out wide. Then Divine Rebel, Miss Marin followed.
Heads are in sync here. Sirmione outside and Zipping inside. There's nothing between them.
Zipping's won it.
Zipping on the inside. If there is a margin, it's him a millimetre. If there is a margin, Shane.
I'm thinking it is. I'm thinking there
is. 3 wins.
I think
Zipping
he's got it.
Finally wins a Group 1 race for Lloyd Williams and Nicole. Finally wins a Group 1 race for Lloyd Williams and Nicole. Just as Sirmione and Bart looks in the spoils here for Team Williams. I'll show you some pictures of Rob because I like to show him and the hard work he does. That's a millimetre. That'll do. Bart Moatees on the outside. Excellent. Team up there at Massac. Just so durable, this horse. He's 8 years of age, and he just butters up season after season to race well for him.
Yeah, it'd be hard to beat in the BMW, I reckon.
Up to Sydney now.
Well,
Gone. He's very determined that he thinks this horse could possibly do a Fields of Omar and win the Cox Plate in the spring, and he's going to.
That's Sirmione.
BMW, which is a winnable race.
Isn't it funny though that the 2 horses that, well, we know Sirmione's got Group 1 weight for age form, and Zipping has Group 2 weight for age form, and a lot of those horses behind it had much less weight for age performance than that, and were basically handicappers, and the handicappers just couldn't match it with weight for age horses. And we say this year in, year out. Weight for age horses are a special breed, aren't they? They're just
about to go rounds here in the Sweet Embrace Stakes, and a big crowd on hand, as we saw too for the Skyline.
From all watches down there at Kembla, she worked only fairly when she's been
and ribbon. Into the straight they come, and My Amelia moving up on the outside to join Dove Lake, and Crystal Lily's going for a gap between them. She's about to come into it. So's Amber's Waltz on the outside. So Crystal Lily and Amber's Waltz run to the lead together. They've sprinted well clear of the rest of the field, but it's Crystal Lily in front. She's going a little bit too well at the 100 from Amber's Waltz, and Crystal Lily hands and heels down to the post. She's a bit wayward, but goes on to win it. Amber's Waltz got second, Zutara third, and then divorces from Miss Gay Flyer, Mafia Miss. At the head of the others next, My Amelia. A gap in the field after those.
For our Christmas party to get into the Golden Slipper. I don't think there's much doubt about that. She's the real deal. Ollie told us straight after the race. He said, I'd love to be on her on Golden Slipper Day. Matthew Ellerton, I think that's
in the worst part of the track on the inside. The only setback I'd have with her is that she was very fizzy before the race.
And look, I wrote the...
She's an explosive filly, this, and probably earns her crack at the Golden Slipper. She's got that rare thing that you need, and it's like the filly Solar Charge. She's got acceleration, and it's just about it is here. Look at her run through the line. Yep. She's not stopping. She runs through the line. She's a really good filly.
I reckon it can win the Slipper.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. She's got a terrific chance. She's aggressive. She's squealing in the yard and wants to rear and play up. That's just her nature.
She has improved since.
Right, now it's time to look at the...
It's here at Royal Randwick is the Randwick Guineas over the mile, a Group 1 as well for the 3-year-olds. And let's see what's happening.
So back, Hanks, $9 out to 11. Shootouts, $3.50 to $3.10. More Than Great Well, Cosmocrat, More Than Great Well, Cosmocrat, 31 to 41. Zabrasive, 18 to 21. Abrasive, 18 to 21.
And they're off and racing. Shootout didn't begin all that well. He's back second last. Delago Bolt came out slowly. Going up on the rail, Indian Ocean, followed by Cosmocrat, and then Shootout, who's midfield on the outside of Run for Nara. Back behind those horses next, Hanks with More Than Great, followed by Zabrasive, and then Kidnapped is about to start a run, and Delago Bolt is last. Coming up towards the home turn. They're about to swing now in the Guineas, and Gathering Lead from Monton on the outside. Leicester Square outside them. Viking Legend waits for a run, followed by Indian Ocean. Sir Halliwell coming on strongly down the outside, and Shootouts trying to force into the clear. Monton went to the lead from Gathering. Viking Legends out. Run for Nara going back to the inside. Cosmocrat coming with Zabrasive. They're everywhere here. Monton just in front. Viking Legend and Shootout. Shootout dropped on them and won the Guineas. Shootout got up to win it from Viking Legend. Three-way go. Followed by Indian Ocean. Sir Halliwell coming on strongly down the outside, and Shootouts trying to force into the clear. Monton went to the lead from Gathering. Viking Legends out. Run for Nara going back to the inside. Cosmocrat coming with Zabrasive. They're everywhere here. Monton just in front. Viking Legend and Shootout. Shootout dropped on them and won the Guineas. Shootout got up to win it from Viking Legend. Three-way go for third. We've got Captain Sonador, Run for Nara and Zabrasive, and then Cosmocrat, and then
4 wins. He's a Group 1 winner of the Turn Point.
$3, $1.60 for Shootout. Viking Legend, $2.70. And
he's a good jockey, this bloke.
It said, why
great faith in this horse. I think he's a superstar of the horse.
Now, you weren't confident going to the race. We were having a little bit of a lemonade at the Doncaster on Tuesday night. We bumped into John there, and he said he was an absolute certainty.
Viking Legend and Captain Sonador.
Geez, that was an outstanding win. You know, it's very hard to get hampered at the 100 and regather your momentum and win running away like that in a competitive field. He's absolutely thrived in Sydney Shootout. It probably will. But
if he runs out a strong 2,000 metres, they'll probably go to the Derby. If he doesn't,
no,
they'll go back.
He's got to go to Doncaster.
Why?
Because he's got the kill at the Randwick Mile now, and he's got acceleration.
They're going to run the Derby at Randwick too.
Yeah, that's 2,400.
Yeah, but you don't have to be a star to win Derbies.
No, maybe not. But I reckon he's an ideal Doncaster horse.
Well, I don't know. He's only going to meet his own age then in the Derby, and probably not as competitive as it is here. So I'd leave it. I reckon Johnny will just...
Lombari with the blinkers on, 12, 11, 12, so rock solid.
Comes up towards the stalls, I should say, and Solar Charge will be the last in for the McGrath Foundation. Riesling Stakes. Hurry, the course proper. Solar Charged is controlling it by a length and a half. Military Rose, Obsequious on the inside third. Ellen Barry is fourth, and then Yosei followed by Fit and Ready. Psychologist is still back at the rear, and Triple Crown's back with them. Coming into the straight, and Bowman comes away slightly on Solar Charge from the inside. Obsequious is next, and Military Rose is coming down the outside out after Solar Charge. He's had to get busy on Solar Charge as Military Rose raced up on the outside, and Solar Charge is immediately headed by Military Rose, and the unbeaten filly has raced to the front now from Solar Charge and Obsequious, and the others are battling, but it's Military Rose She's going to make it 5 out of 5, and she comes on to win it well. Solar Charge will be in a photo for second with Obsequious, who's bobbed on the line, so they're fighting it out for second and third. And then at the head of the others, Jose, Ellen Barry never came into it. Neither did Psychologist, followed by Triple Crown.
Has done that on her ear. Solar Charge under.
You're not going to tell me there's improvement to come, is there?
I think there is. Yeah, there has to be natural improvement. Yeah.
That's just fit.
It's in the big races.
Of all three, 10, 1, 20, 5, 20, and $1.10. $1.10. Another sporting bet market.
Be totally impressed by what you saw there.
Awesome. I stood in the betting ring with my old man as soon as they put the prices up after that, and they went up 4.20. I just
For the Golden Slipper.
For the Golden Slipper. I said, gee, it seems to be good odds. Dad said, I think it is too. So we rang up and took it.
Military Rose is very impressive.
Well, obviously a deserved slipper favourite now. That was a total domination. To beat a filly like Solar Charge, who I thought leading into the race was just going to blow them away. She's been so dominant, winning by 5 lengths at her 2 starts today.
300-metre mark, just after straightening, he was sitting on Solar Charge, and I thought, just let this go and put about 4 on them. Well, he let it go, and she just struggled to get past the one on the inside there. And no sooner as she off the bit, and Military Rose just pounced on them, and it was all over. It was a dominant win.
Yeah,
Look, dominant win.
Yeah,
Look, there's 2 fillies here, Military Rose and Crystal Lily. I just think I reckon they're the ones to beat. And I like Crystal Lily, but I think this filly is right there in the slipper, Military Rose.
Done 2 to Widden Stud, and they have the of Hot Danish.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's the Maya Group 2 Canterbury Stakes. Great supporters of the Sydney Turf Club and heavily back. 440 to 380. They bet.
Said Group 1 success through the carnival. Last year, All Silent, the winner. The year before, Mentality.
Chin Chin. They come to the 600. They're strung out here about 7 lengths covering the field. Dreamscape led. Demerit on the outside being stoked up to try and keep Hot Danish in a pocket by the looks of it. Then came Mr. Baritone, followed by Dewport, but there's plenty of room on the inside for Hot Danish. Dreamscape left the fence. Demerit rushed up with Hot Danish, Mr. Baritone, and Black Piranha coming down the outside. But Hot Danish raced away at the 200. Led clearly from Demerit, who can't do any better. Down the outside, Black Piranha's starting to run on strongly. Hot Danish in front with 100 metres to go. Black Piranha comes after it late, but Hot Danish wins it. Hot Danish won it from Black Piranha. Third home was Mr. Baritone, and then came Demerit, followed
The 2 unbeatable. I hope you've had something on. 7, 2, 5 and 9. Hot Danish, Timmy Clark for Les Bridge. 281.52. Black.
As long as the tracks suit her. Hot Danish, another first up win. Black Piranha heavily back to beat it. Couldn't do so. Mr. Barrett.
Back, resumes at weight for age at 1,300 here and gets the job done. I'd love to see her win the TJ Smith or the All Age. They'd pull the grandstand down. She'd be like a takeover target like reception, because she's a real crowd favourite. They line
the Group 1 over the 2,000 metres for the weight for age gallopers. Thesio, well, he's going for back-to-back Ranvets. He's also going for back-to-back Group 1s after winning the Chipping Norton Stakes at his last 2010 Ranvet Stakes, the Group 1 weight for age 2,000 metre race.
Came in very briefly and then got back out. Thesio at $2.90 is the ring favourite, $3 on the tote. As halfway mark and past it now, and the favourites on top. Thesio led out by about 1.5 lengths on Road to Rock and Purple, 3/4 Daffodil. Then came Rangy Rang Do on the outside of Speed Gifted from No Wine No Song. A Nectar Divine Rebel at the head of the others. Roman Emperor and Alco Pop, followed by Moatees, who's second last, just starting to be niggered along at the moment. Latorio last of all. It's Thesio still in control, coming up towards the bend. Nothing worry him at the moment, and as they're about to swing, he leads by a length on Road to Rock, Purple, Speed Gifted, and then Daffodil, Rangy Rang Do, Clark biding his time, about to pop the question as they turn for home. Thesio led at the 300 from Road to Rock and Daffodil. Rangy Rang Do coming to the centre, Speed Gifted getting up on the inside, but they've still got to get Thesio. Rangy Rang Do comes after him on the outside. It's Thesio the leader from Rangy Rang Do and Daffodil. Thesio is digging deep. He's fighting on like a caged lion, and Thesio wins the money from Rangy Rang Do. Speed Gifted got third, and then came Daffodil, followed by No Wine No Song, and then Latorio, Divine Rebel, followed by Moatees and Purple, and then Roman Emperor. At the head of the others next, we got Road to Rock, and last in was Alco Pop.
5 Group 1s for this wonderful horse, Thesio, for Gay Waterhouse, Denise Martin, Star Thoroughbreds, and all.
The Smart Punch, the favourite on track. Totes on
For 120,000 for Star Thoroughbreds, Denise Martin. 6 over $3 million in prize money. Favourite, suppose out of a Rich, who was very good the last 50 odd metres, Latorio.
He's done it a few times in his career, hasn't he, Latorio? But look, his last 80 metres was outstanding.
He's doing nothing before him, wasn't
Australian Stakes at Group 3 and a very, very good field. Marasco favourite as we head to Darren. A length and a half over Comic Hero. 2.5 away then on the inside. Do You Dare being closely attended by the Bolter Steel the Empire. Tarzi is starting to work off now. He pulled out around the heels of Steel the Empire and he's out after the leader which had skipped away from them. Spitfire Race. Marasco well back with Tudor Lad. It's Spitfire Race in full flight. At the top of the straight now they swing and Spitfire Race had cleared out by 4. On the outside running on is Tarzi and so's Marasco. It's Spitfire Race 175 to go, but here comes Marasco on the outside of Tarzi. Marasco has gone straight past Spitfire Race. Tarzi can't go with the Mighty M, and he's back today, Marasco. Marasco wins his second Hyperion Stakes from Tarzi. Tudor Lad rattling down the outside with Spitfire Race made it interesting. They were followed by Do You Dare. Next time.
Yes, Fred Kersley and Daniel Stake, Marasco, Tarzi and Spitfire Race.
Yeah, good to see him back. I don't know what issue he had, but he's been off the scene for a while. Maybe Andrew can...
Stay. The 2-year-olds are in the yard. The Colts and Geldings ahead of the Pago Stakes. The last chance for the boys to get into the Golden Slipper next week. And Hinchinbrook is the only one who so far has enough prize money to do so. He's on the blow here a little bit.
Out Blackball's $31. Bright Expectations been the biggest go. They bet $4. It's now $2.70 to $2.50. Bright Expectation.
He's not travelling all that well. He needed to pick up, followed by Press Day, and then came Bucks Balorum, Schwarzschild going up on the inside, but Bright Expectations broke away from the field. Turning for home, he's about 4 or 5 lengths in front of Unflinching Resolve and also Gold Arena. Now Hinchinbrook starting to run on with Blackball down the outside, but this has stolen a huge break. Bright Expectations. He's going to bolt in. He's about 6 lengths in front of Blackball coming into second, and Bright Expectations, he's down on the line, wins it by 3. Blackball got second, Hinchinbrook third. Then Scorist, followed further back by Gold Arena and Flint.
Blackball $3.80, Hinchinbrook $1.30, trifecta $72.30. The margins are 3 1/4 lengths, an absolute...
This time, last gay new, punters new, $2.60 favourite, absolutely towed them, slick time, and we'll go to Gay shortly to get the post-race.
7 furlong horse, but I think they're probably going to put blinkers on him. But the winner, wow, unbelievable. I couldn't believe that. I thought he'd have to stop halfway up the straight. He kept going. In fact, he sat up on him the last 50. He could have won by 6.
Does that remind you of any
Just in the seat? But
700, he caught him napping. And they got off the bit out of their comfort zone, and the race was all over before the turn. I just couldn't believe the way that horse quickened at the right time, and the dangers were just under the whip going backwards. So it was a funny race.
Live, it is time for the big one, the Darley Rosehill Guineas, the Group 1 for the 3-year-olds. And at this far as the betting, it is a battle between the 2 Guineas winners. The Australian Guineas winner in Rock Classic for Bart Cummings at $3.80, and Shootout, the Randwick Guineas winner at
$3.60 on the tote at $3.70. Shootout. Best price they've given is $2.60 into $2.45. Putting to wait in at one stage and then got back out at point. He's showing.
By Run for Nara, the only filly in the field, settling back along the inside in 5th, followed by the favourite Shootout. It's racing on the outside of St. Encosta. Extra Zero second last, and Cosmocratas last of all. Down the side they come, 7.50 to go, and Cassidy going a little bit quicker now on Gathering. He's trying to break the field up. Zabrazu starting Ryan on its tail, and then about 2 lengths to Rock Classic. Captain Sonador about to let loose around the outside, and then came St. Encosta, followed by Run for Nara. Shootout next. Catsitas pulling it to the outside to make its run now as they turn for home, and the leader as they run down with about 350 to go is Gathering from Zabraziv. Rock Classic is now pulled to the centre of the track by Rod. Zabraziv moved up and took the lead now as they come to the 200. Rock Classic a big danger on the outside. However, Rock Classic coming at Zabraziv. It's a 2-horse war. Zabraziv on the inside. Rock Classic's got his measure. Rock Classic went up on the outside, put his head in front. Zabraziv came back. It's a photo. Rock Classic looked like he was going to win, but Zabraziv kicked back right on the line. Very tight finish. Third's either Shootout or Run for Nara. And then at the head of the others next we've got Gathering, followed by Captain Sonador. Then
has his head down. Let's see as they get to the line. It can be deceptive. Well, perhaps the inside. We'll wait on the photo again, Richie. But Zabraziv, well, he's done well, hasn't he, to kick back.
Photo 8-1-11, 8-1 and 11. 8-1-11 and the favourite Shootout. Disappointing's run 4th.
8-1-11 ones here on Amy Golden Slipper Day. It is the Vinery Stud Stakes, and there's not a lot in the betting between three of these runners at this stage. Set for Fame has been well back, but of course also Vinery big supporters of the STC here today. Won last year by Purple. In previous years, horses like Miss Finland, John.
Ingeniously, as this field starts to really string out now. Faint Perfume's well back with Run for Nara, Little Surfer Girl, and last of all is Ocean Dream. They're inside the 1,000 and going to the side, and Nash starting to quicken up now and once were wild. Leads by a couple of lengths on Set for Fame, who's worked in closer and runs up behind the leader now. Mirasalo third, No Evidence Needed next. At the head of the others, Valdemoro, then Small Minds, Indian Ocean being pushed along, followed further back in behind them by Absolute Faith and then Slapstick. Further back was Magic Model. Faint Perfume's giving this leader a huge start. Then Ingeniously, Run for Nara still a long way back, and there's Being Hard Ridden, followed by Little Surfer Girl and Ocean Dream. There's about 20 lengths first to last here. Once Were Wild led with Set for Fame coming after it, and Valdemoro is scorching down the centre of the track out after them. Then came Small Minds and Faint Perfume from the backs running on. Valdemoro hit the lead inside the 200. Faint Perfume comes on strongly into second. It's Valdemoro the leader. Faint Perfume is going after it very strongly. Valdemoro on the inside. Faint Perfume grabbed it on the line. Faint Perfume got there and beat Valdemoro. Absolute Faith third. Coming after it, and Valdemoro is scorching down the centre of the track out after them. Then came Small Minds and Faint Perfume from the backs running on. Valdemoro hit the lead inside the 200. Faint Perfume comes on strongly into second. It's Valdemoro the leader. Faint Perfume is going after it very strongly. Valdemoro on the inside. Faint Perfume grabbed it on the line. Faint Perfume got there and beat Valdemoro. Absolute Faith third. Then came Small Minds, followed by Once Were Wild. At the head of the others next, we've got Slapstick, followed further back behind.
To Bart Cummings, another Group 1 for 10 starts, 5 wins, and that's another Group 1 for Faint Perfume. Well done, all the connections, Colleen and Alan Jackson. Dado Tanshin now.
Valdemoro, a couple of people said, did he go too early, Blakes? And he probably went a few strides too early, but you're absolutely bolting. You think your danger's a mile behind you, you're on your bike. But I still can't believe she won Faint Perfume. That was an outstanding performance, Mark.
Oh, I sold out on her. I thought she couldn't possibly, because Valdemoro went outstanding. As you said, they gapped the third horse. She strode away and was just going to win. And this has come over the top. Still looked a little bit above herself, I thought, as well. I think she's a little bit above herself, I thought, as well. I think she still had improvement. I think they're both outstanding fillies.
The cruelest thing for racing.
Queen of the Turf Stakes, Inglis, with a big enjoying the festivities on Amy Golden Slipper Day. The market, Richie, Typhoon Tracy, well, you can see on the tote $1.50, even shorter on course.
Yeah, she's very short. 5 to 2 on in the old, $1.40 she is. The only other way, thank you, we'll take that. She's now into $1.40. Dominant favourite, 5.
The favourite and the Sporting Bet Australia market mover for the Queen of the Turf. The Inglis Queen of the Turf.
As they run to the 900, and Typhoon Tracy lobs straight onto its tail in second spot, 2 lengths to Miss Marielle. Responses got in closer after covering a little bit of ground early on. Then came Benicia, followed further back by LA Wonder. It's a racing in the company there of Majestic Music is out very wide on the track, narrowly saving ground on the inside. And then Strawberry Field, Illuminate, and Extreme is back last of all. Montana Fly, the leader by 2 or 3. Nolan still has a big hold on Typhoon Tracy. He's taken to the centre of the track. Then Miss Marielle, followed by Response, and at the head of the others next, Benicia. Montana Flyer in front, Typhoon Tracy on the outside. Hands and heels at the moment. Now he starts to feel for the whip. She quickly moves up and takes the lead from Montana Flyer. Then Miss Marielle, Response, Illuminates coming down the outside. But Typhoon Tracy is well clear. Illuminates is charging late. He sits up, but she's head and shoulders above them. Typhoon Tracy beat Illuminates. Montana Flyer third. Then Strawberry Field, followed by Extreme and Miss Marielle. Then narrowly followed further back for LA Wonder.
Here's the star of the turf, lining up for Horse of the Year honours. Typhoon Tracy by Red Ransom. She is a...
About her, she's just totally bomb-proof. Hope she goes to the Doncaster. Pete's got the option of the all-age stakes as well, but she is the dominant racehorse in the country right now.
Yeah, not often I lay...
The perfect racehorse. You can't really say much more, guys.
Well, Luke, against mares, it's set weights, Luke. I mean, between 1,400 and 2,000 metres, it's just money for jam, isn't it?
She's never been beaten.
Well, it's impossible for those mares to beat her at set weights, isn't it?
About to be run. It is the BMW, the Group 1, the weight for age race over the 1.5 miles. Tessio, well, he's certainly the horse to beat, the multiple Group 1 winner. He's won the 5 Group 1s. Do like the little bit of rain around. He looks great here, doesn't he, from the Freedman stable.
Now, Daffodil's about to come up. Moatees moving up. Speed Gifted, so they're loading well. Only 4 left to move in. Back along the inside, followed by Zarvit, is still caught out wide. Purple keeps punching up underneath her to keep it out there. And then Daffodil is over on the fence, followed by Divine Rebel. Then at the head of the others, Latorio. Moatees is second last and 2 lengths to Growl. They come down with about 900 to go, and the favourite's on top, Thesio. He ran second in the race last year, looking to go one better in 2010, led by a length and a quarter. Roman Emperor, No Wine, No Song. Zarvit is striding up into fourth, but he's had a very tough run. Then Speed Gifted, Purple starting a run. Harris Tweed biding its time back on the fence. Then came Daffodil, Divine Rebel. Moatees a long way back with Latorio and Growlers last of all. Thesio led. Zarvit comes up on the outside to eyeball him. And then came No Wine, No Song. Harris Tweed running up behind them. Speed Gifter's gone and Purple down the outside. But Nash said, let's go, boy. And Thesio's the leader at the 300. No Wine, No Song's coming after him quickly on the outside. And then came Zarvit and Daffodil's running on. Latorio and Growl, any one of about 4 or 5 here, with Zarvit fighting on strongly, and Latorio drops on him on the outside, and Latorio won the BMW. Latorio has won it from Zarvit. I think No Wine, No Song got third, just in front of Thesio, who couldn't hold them off, followed by Harris Tweed and Growl. Speed Gifted dropped out very quickly, and Roman Emperor.
5 Latorio, well done to him. The Group 1 victory here. The Turnbull winner has taken out the BMW by Bellotto. He's had those placings in derbies, and Nigel Blackiston's done a great job. He looks super in the yard.
Dividends here. The Group 1 BMW is $16 and $4.30. Latorio, Zavit at $6.60. No Wine, No Song, $4.20. Trifecta.
Craig Williams home on Latorio. Won 2 races prior to yesterday. A Sale Maiden at 2 and the Turnbull Stakes. And now wins the BMW at
10 more Group 1 racing about to come up. This is the George Ryder Stakes, a time-honoured race. And a
race, as you said, $4.80 in from 5, Dan Lee. Sniper's Bullet, $9.50 to...
And shorter than that on the tote at $4.40 with Sniper's Bullet and also Black Piranha in commission here on track. Heart of Dreams. Then came further back behind them next, Walking or Dancing, Dow Dow in the middle, Vision and Power on the rail. Racing with it El Segundo, followed by Black Piranha. He's racing out a little bit wide, but he's got some cover, followed by Danley. He's going to try and thread his way through the field. Mr. Baritone back on the rail from Triple Honour and Palacio to Crystal last of all, giving the leaders about 8 lengths start. They bunch up on the turn, and King Mufasa out wide is joined by Tickets on its inside, and then Sniper's Bullet. Dow Dow looking for a run, but he's in a bumping duel. And then Heart of Dreams, and Dan Lee's made up a lot of ground very quickly down the outside. It's King Mufasa getting the better at Tickets. Dan Lee and Dow Dow are starting to thunder down the outside. Dan Lee's got a slight advantage here with about 100 metres to go, and Dan Lee's got the George Ryder. Dan Lee went on to win it from Dow Dow. King Mufasa third, close for fourth, Palacio to Crystal or El Segundo. Then Heart of Dreams, followed by Vision and Power and Mr. Baritone from Triple Honour.
There's Huey Bowman. He's smoking his pipe. She's apples for Huey Bowman, another Group 1 winner for him, 2010. And look, really almost never in doubt, Rich.
3 Group 1s, he'll now be very hard to beat in the Doncaster. Will he run a mile? Well, that was as dominant win as you want to see. Huey got back to time.
Yeah, looks pretty. And wins a Group 1 here on Danley for Chris Waller. And that's it for...
Yeah, but the winner was by far and away Dan Lee. So what's Dan Lee got, Chris? 57 in the Doncaster?
Yeah, 57.
Ringy Ring do? 55 and a half?
55 and a half.
And Triple Honour?
It's not 52, it'll be 52 and a half.
So he's already won the Doncaster. He's got 52 and a half. Ringy. Has he won a Group 1 yet?
No, he has.
And he's got, 3 kilos more than him. The weight TQ in the Doncaster are outstanding. I don't think they've got it more wrong ever in Australasian Doncaster history.
Through mistakes made last time where I feel he should have won the Chipping Norton, and that proves it with the dominance of that win. He sucked up, found the right part of the track, and it was just the ideal lead up for a Doncaster. It wasn't didn't hurt him too much, and look, he's right in the race, especially if he gets a slow track. Like, he should be 6 from 6 on slow track. So maybe...
Down, and she is the sportingbet.com.au market mover. for the world's richest two-year-old race, the Amy $3.5 million Golden Slipper.
Yes, look, some relax. We will know in, just over a minute as the wind comes up here. Right on start time, the Amy Golden Slipper. Here's Mark Sheehan for the call.
Heck, last of all, the filly Solar Charge led out from another filly, Chance By, and Crystal Lily is right on their hammer in third spot. Obsequious on the outside from Georgette Silk. So 5 fillies lead the field around the home turn. Then Decision Time, Military Rose is starting to pick up ground. Bright Expectations is under a lot of pressure, followed by Hinchabrook, and then came Lohan. It's Solar Charged in front as they turn. Chance By and Crystal Lily's coming on the scene very quickly. Then came Decision Time, Obsequious, and Benetto's right down the outside. Crystal Lily took the lead from Solar Charge. She's running off the track, Crystal Lily. Solar Charge hampered on the outside. Oh, Crystal Lily's running to the outside fence. Decision Time up along the inside. Crystal Lily has won the Golden Slipper and beaten Decision Time and More Strawberries. Then came in behind them Hinchabrook from Benetto, Carved in Stone and Shahek from Obsequious and Chance By. Then Lohan from Bright Expectations. Solar Charge was...
He had ample opportunity of giving it right away, and she stacked loyal, and I appreciate it.
You had a feel of this horse in Melbourne, and I think you were wrapped the day you rode her.
Yeah, she's super filly. See what she done today, and I didn't even let her go. Just tried to keep her straight.
Well, that was difficult, wasn't it?
It was very difficult. She's going to appreciate.
That's why we went that way with her and not that way with Willow Creek.
He a bit nervous.
Good job at his first run back in the Blamey last time out. He comes into this race.
So your emotions here in the last as she's doing this?
I was thinking, Decision Time. No, yeah. Look, it was quite anxious for sure. Why she gets it, how he stops it, I have no idea.
Brett said in the inquiry, so well, do you think I wanted to be out there? I mean, he changed his hold, he pulled the whip through her left hand, and she still, there's nothing else he could have done.
No, I mean,
Final event. Got a short price favourite at Ascot for the 5th, and it's the champ Marasco for Fred Kersley. Second up from a spell tonight. This horse has won.
Parnham, Star Risk is now about to let go, and in turn he's starting to tow Marasco up into the race, but Stakes having to push him along. Larson while holding 4th on the rail, and 2 lengths behind them, Friar's Touch on the corner at the 400. Do You Dare tackled on the outside by Tarzi, breathing fire. Gee, he can't hold him any slower. Tarzi reaches the lead from Do You Dare. Here comes Marasco opening up. What are they going to run their last couple in? Marasco storming down the outside, looms up to Tarzi. Parnham draws the whip. Tarzi, Marasco. Stake hasn't moved though, and Marasco dropped off Tarzi and stormed away to win it. Marasco, for the second successive year, wins the Strickland and won it in a canter over Tarzi and Do You Dare. Larson ran 4th ahead of Friar's Touch, and Star Risker was last of all. Well, you wouldn't believe that. You wouldn't believe that they'd run 155.20 in a Group 3. Not unless you've got a 2-bob watch. Marasco. He's back to that great form as he showed as a 3-year-old when he used to set Ascot on fire.
In the yard for the Darley. TJ Smith Stakes for the sprinters, won in the past few years, of course, by Takeover Target and Apache Cat, who's been down there parading before the...
Number 1, Micmac now. There are the TAB prices there on screen. 350 bet, now 330. Sportingbet.com.au. Mark.
Third spot. Micmac in a good position behind them, 4th, and it's moved away from Melito, who's 5th, followed by Lord Tavistock, and Metal Bender, the stayer, back at the rear of the field, about 7 or 8 lengths off the lead, and the leader is Patronym. All these riders are steering away from the inside. Hot Danish outside it and wanted it its quarters 3rd. Then came the favourite Micmac, followed by Melito, Lord Tavistock and Metal Bender. Patronym stuck away at the top of the straight, led by 2 on Hot Danish. Wanted's coming right out towards the centre of the track. Micmac's going for a run in the middle, and then came Melito. Patronym still in front on the outside. Hot Danish is about to get level. Hot Danish put a head in front of Patronym. Down the outside, Melito is the blouser. It's Melito moving up to hit the lead, and Melito in an upset went on to win it from either Hot Danish or Micmac, and then came Wanted, followed by Patronym. Further back behind them, Metal Bender.
One winners for you, but where does she rate with you?
I've always said she's probably the best 3-year-old filly I've ever had. I reckon she's the best 2-year-old filly I've ever had. But I don't know, I might have to start reassessing her now, but do it again. Well, she's probably sitting up there, nearly one of the best we've had.
Of course, with the form around More Joyous, then she was placed in the 1,000 Guineas and the Wakeful.
Filly gets a valuable Group 1. She was an expensive buy, 600,000. She's now a Group 1 winner. Only her 3rd win. She beats Hot Danish again. runner-up for the third time in the Group 1. Mick.
Derby day here, the David Jones AJC Derby. Only 11 minutes away from start time. A lot of very nervous owners. Guineas winner, one of the horses on the inside there. Not sure if it was maybe Home on a Wing might have had its leg there, but we'll see if we can show you that shot. Right on.
Counting. It's a trot and canter down the back. In fact, you can cross the trot out because they're absolutely cantering. 1,400 to go. Cedarburg half on Rock Classical pull. Down the side in the Derby, 800 to go. Leader Cedarburg, Desperado straight up into second spot. Rock Classic behind them with Extra Zero. He's pulling his head off going around the outside. Zabraziv still poised in fifth spot. Then Home and a Wing and Monaco Consul. Some moves coming from the back now. Here's Landlock taking off. Suyama's in that group as well. Shootout looking for a run in the centre from Sherpa Tenzing. Keep the peace. And Hanson Lulu is back last of all. Here they come in the Derby around the home turn. And Cedarburg and Rock Classic are headed by Desperado on the outside. Zabraziv got a bump, but now he's into the clear out after the leader. And then Extra Zero on the outside. Desperado led at the 200. Zabraziv a neck away coming up at his inside, and Shootouts into the clear, and storming home is Monaco Consul down the outside. Here's a thrilling Derby. Shootout, doesn't he love Ramwick? He hit the lead, and Shootout wins the Derby. Beat Desperado, Photo third, Monaco Consul or Zabraziv, and then a gap in the field after those to Extra Zero, followed by Home and a Wing, and then came Cedarburg, followed by Home and a Wing, and then came
Desperado. Wait on the photos.
Well, it's a Ramwick horse.
Yeah, he is. He might be any sort of horse later on, but I think he's a dumb bugger yet, so.
Wasn't entitled to win really again, John, because the tempo of the race was muddling and he gets back. But winner of the day.
Where he's coming for the 2010 season. First, second and third.
It just goes to show.
Impala, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah, it's a better horse, and maybe will win a Melbourne Cup or a Caulfield Cup.
Maybe.
Might win the Cox Plate.
You never know.
Who knows? When he has a spell, he'll be better. I can tell you that now, so look out.
Brilliant, isn't it? And, Shootout. Well, there's no more deserving horse to have won, probably the premier 3-year-old race this autumn, because he has been the most consistent 3-year-old all autumn. We're going to take a shot
of the Australian turf. It is the AJC Oaks. This year's sponsor.
The market only 4 runners in single figures now. A little bit of support, and we'll get to the.
So little.
And Valdemoro is tracking Faint Perfume every step of the way as they run to the side of the track, inside the 1,000 up to the 9. Slapstick the leader, a length and a half on Once Were Wild, who's given a little bit more rein to go closer. Run for Nara tracking them third from Little Surfer Girl, and then came Ceviche on the inside of Absolute Faith. Smart Lady starting to take closer order, so is Mirasalo. Speedy Natalie going up on the inside. Faint Perfume is second last, and Valdemoro is 2 lengths behind it. It's Slapstick the leader with Once Were Wild going up on the outside to wide ball. It Run for Nara's only a length and a half away, striding into it strongly. Then Little Surfer Girl at the head of the others. Next we've got Absolute Faith and Ceviche, and looking for Run Speedy Natalie. Faint Perfume. Valdemoro is out of business, and Once Were Wild said, "Tata, I'll see you later." It raced away about 4 lengths in front of Run for Nara. Faint Perfume is coming down the outside. She might have given away too much start, however. She's chasing valiantly, but Once Were Wild pinched the Oaks. Once Were Wild wins it from Faint Perfume. Run for Nara got third, close for 4, Speedy Natalie or Absolute Faith, and then came in behind them Slapstick. Valdemoro did nothing at all. At the head of the others next we had Mirasalo Seville behind them.
And John Singleton too, for racing is concerned. We'll see front and back page of the paper tomorrow. And John Singleton too.
So
it's exactly
you've got
what
to be
happened.
very careful with these 3-year-old filly staying races, because they trot and canter, and these fillies with a bit of ping leave them no chance.
Well, that's getting preconceived ideas, you see. They all had in their head that there was only 3 horses in the race, so they're all going to sit there and watch each other, which they did. They watched each
other. Far too late.
The Emirates Doncaster, $1.5 million, the big feature race here on the program today.
Horses have been there. That 5 Group 1s in a row, Rich, and she's the horse they've got to beat. Typhoon Tracy, what price?
Yeah, well, she's been well back, Clarkie. I just spoke to the boys at Sporting Bet. Really come for the girl. Let's go to the top. Crash Bang Wallop, now into $3.20. She's your market mover. The 40.
Emirates Doncaster Mile, right on start time. Here's Mark for what will be a very exciting call.
Okay, thanks very much, Caroline. And the Centennial Park, then Tabeek, followed further back by Black Piranha. Danley seemed to get a little bit of a check there, followed by Vision and Power, and last of all is Prima Nova. It's Recouped a Fortune moving up to hit the front at the halfway mark, a half a length in advance of Miss Marielle. Then came Thessia running third, Typhoon Tracy poised behind them fourth. Brilliant Light is making ground, but he's been wide from the time they've jumped, and then came Mentality. Rangy Rangdu stalking the leaders as they come to the turn, followed by Drumbeats and Road to Rock, Snappy Halo, and Palacio de Crystal is saving ground along the inside as they run for home now in the Doncaster Mile, and Recouped a Fortune has taken over clearly and run to the lead from Miss Marielle. Thessia is joining in with Brilliant Light, Typhoon Tracy only labouring, going up on the inside, Road to Rock, and Rangy Rangdu is joining in on the outside. Is it his day today? It's Road to Rock and Rangy Rangdu fighting it out. Rangy Rangdu on the outside is in front, and Rangy Rangdu gets his Group 1. Beat Road to Rock, Brilliant Light third from Drumbeat. Now in the Doncaster Mile, and Recouped a Fortune has taken over clearly and run to the lead from Miss Marielle. Thessia is joining in with Brilliant Light, Typhoon Tracy only labouring, going up on the inside, Road to Rock, and Rangy Rangdu is joining in on the outside. Is it his day today? It's Road to Rock and Rangy Rangdu fighting it out. Rangy Rangdu on the outside is in front, and Rangy Rangdu gets his Group 1. Beat Road to Rock, Brilliant Light third from Drumbeats. And then Dan Lee, followed by Snappy Halo, and then Triple Honour, followed by Tabeek, and then came Palacio de Crystal. At the head of the others, Thessia. Then came Vision and Power, followed by Palacio de Crystal. At the head
for dear life, number 5, the winner, Rangy Rangdu of the Emirates Doncaster for 2010. Well done to Chris Waller preparing this.
Forward to get, and you've got it.
We sure have, Bruce. A little bit emotional, but no, great week and good jockey to have aboard. And great staff behind me. So it's just unbelievable.
And it's a Brilliant Light, almost around the race. Outstanding performance. Typhoon Tracy at the Randwick Equine Centre at the moment after being galloped on in the near hind fetlock. So possible
through no one's fault.
Rangy Rangdu, well, he deserved a good Group 1. There's no doubt about it. He's been knocking on the door, just got the right date, and he got the money. Good horse.
All right, now their best, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. Danley I thought was unlucky, just the barrier draw. He was back 3 wide last, and had to come around them. And I don't think you can sort of do that with a big weight and against these types of horses.
The Group 1, James Bogue, Galaxy. 9 to Lightning Ridge, heavily backed as your sporting bet market mover. $8 in the.
Tensia drifting out again. She's out to $4.40. So from the back bar, Parables and Faint Perfume, and they weren't able to win. They were outstanding runs, but has been a day dominated by horses maybe just off the speed. Dwarf Command, and Hortensia's back at the rear of the field. Definitely ready led, but he's hanging out off the track. He's not getting around the bend all that well. He's out towards the centre. Boss trying to steer him around the bend, led from Motspur, coming up to join him. He's running right off the track here, definitely ready. Crashed into Motspur. Gold Trail on the outside from Shell Scrape. Swift Alliance in the middle. Striker and Rostover are running on Hortensia's down the outside fence. It's Gold Trail moving up to join this one, definitely ready. Here comes Hortensia! Hortensia from last is storming down the outside. She hits the lead, Hortensia, and she'll go on and win it from either Shell Scrape or Swift Alliance. Then Striker, followed further back behind them by Rostover from Dwarf Command. Then Mount Verde. Then at the head of the others, Motster. Gold Trail. Then at the head of the others, Motster.
When I saw that black hat coming, I knew, she's got an emphatic finish. She's just brilliant. I'd love to know what she ran her last 400 in, but she's probably confidence when you train good horses. And
well, what a good result. Testarossa, we remember him, his great battles that he had with the Reduced Choice English Premier Yearling Sale graduate. This one.
Their best mark, but
yeah,
the winner was better.
Close to the run of the day for sure. The winner, wasn't it? And on ground that probably didn't suit as well. We've seen her fail in the wet before. She was beaten as a short price favourite in Sydney last year. She went to Melbourne and was beaten by Strawberry Field. So she is much better on top of the ground, but she got through it well yesterday and had to run a sensational sectional to do it.
She was a big campaign.
She's outstanding. She's as explosive mare as you've ever seen, and she's lethal, fresh. She'll go to, I think she's going to Singapore now to take on that Chris Flyer and maybe back for the Stradbroke in Queensland where there's unfinished business there, but look, she's just outstanding.
Takes one, the Emirates Doncaster winner, Rangy Rangdu's not running. Road to Rock is out. Road to Rock, $3.30 out to $3.50. Dr.
And he's $10 into $6.50.
Changing the order, nobody making a move as yet. 800 to go. And Monaco Consul from Miss Marielle just striding up a little bit closer up to its quarters. Dr. Fremantle third. And then came Von Romane, and Bowman's the first to make a move on Triple Honour. He starts to stride up quickly now to go to third, and Road to Rock will get onto his back. Vision and Power second last, and Palacio de Crystal still back last of all. So as they near the turn, and Monaco Consul flat to the boards now as Miss Marielle went up to challenge it. Triple Honour on the outside. Dr. Fremantle waits for a run. He's about to come across their heels. Road to Rock was next from Von Romane, who just was flat-footed there. It's Monaco Consul, Triple Honour. Here's Road to Rock. He's chiming in fast on the outside. Road to Rock raced up and hit the lead with Triple Honour. Road to Rock shot away. He was second in the Doncaster. He weighed in overweight, but he's got the cash today. And Road to Rock comes in to win it. Beat Triple Honour. Third home Monaco Consul. Then came Von Romane from Vision and Power. Palacio de Crystal. Dr. Fremantle, every possible.
Might have been, but doesn't take long to turn it round.
That's all right. I just hope the AJC swapped the checks from last week to this week.
Guys,
Willow Park for $100,000 to Anthony. There are the English interims, $3.30, $1.40 the winner, $2.90 for Triple Honour, and $2.10 Monaco Consul.
Finally, a Group 1 win for Road to Rock. And in the end, it was a pretty simple one as De Oliver steered for victory. 3.30 favourite, beating Triple.
It's the Daily Telegraph for the leading papers, all age stakes. Number 1, Dan Lee, the defending champ, at a different program. 4 out to 4.40. Micmac, $3.90, now into $3.70 to 1. The girl who's the favourite girl of Sydney, she's been a drifter. $4.40 out to $5.50.
Micmac is the $3.70 tote favourite and also the same price in the ring. $4 for Dan Lee, who's 40 cents longer here.
Then came Illuminates. Danley a long way back and out, a little bit wide still. And then came Metal Bender and Reva Sandback last of all. So Hot Danish, she's looking for her first Group 1. Will she get home today? She leads around the bend here from Mr. Baritone. Melito is next. Micmac swinging out a little bit wider on the track, followed by Demerit. And then came Beated coming down the outside with Tickets. He's still holding Hot Danish together. She leads from Melito coming up on the inside. Then Micmac. Hot Danish in front. Clark goes full board now. She's a neck in front of Melito. Down the outside, Beated's running on, but it's Hot Danish's day today. Hot Danish is going to lead all the way, and she beat Melito. Beated got third, so the mares 1, 2, 3. Then came Illuminates finishing fourth, followed by in behind them Micmac.
And this popular mare finally has her Group 1 after so many placings.
I think she's as good a mare as there is in Australia in the dry. That's my opinion.
Great for Chairman. Would have loved to have seen her win. Johnny O'Shea's behind me. Looks like a boxer out of the Contender. He was given a punch when...
After 7 Group 1 seconds, she finally gets a Group 1 victory, and no one would deny her that. Hot Danish. But at the $7, would you believe it, Melito's second.
Doomben, a minute's away here for the last at Doomben. Age of Heroes is your favourite at $3.60. A last chance.
The 3 favourites are back with the cat catchers, and Seesawing is last. 700 metres to go. Delcatraz 3 parts to 3 Swallows. Mohawk third on the inside, being trialled by Pacini, and Inner Bind getting a good run in the middle. Smart Punch about to go up on the outside from Pit Lane. Show it, My Limit, Thorondo. Where's these other 3 favourites? Absent Friends and Age of Heroes is a mile back with Red Raiders. Delcatraz at the 300, joined by 3 Swallows. Inner Bind came at them. So too did Smart Punch down the outside, and My Limit and Age of Heroes is coming from the back. It's Smart Punch and Inner Bind with My Limit. Age of Heroes coming down the outside. Smart Punch and Inner Bind. My Limit, Age of Heroes, the 4 of them to the line. Oh, no, I'll stay out of it. My Limit, Smart Punch, Inner Bind and Age of Heroes, and a great finish in the last. Now, behind those, Show It, followed by Pit Lane. The next time, Seesawing. Plenty of practice, followed by... It's a photo in the last. My Limit is the grey, finishing brilliantly in the middle, and he might just get that, looking at that. Eli shot, they're coming to the line, the 4 of them, and...
Pay money to hear that call again, wouldn't you? When they hit the line, Alan just said, no, I'll stay out of that. That is a classic. Fantastic.
As well now, $1.90 with all the bookies. Clear favourite, clear second pick is Metal Bender at $5.50. Clear third pick, Goldwater at $6. It's the New South Wales visitors, 2, 3 and 13.
leading the market there at the Gold Coast for the Hollandale Stakes.
They're at the 700. Rockdale joined by Goldwater on the outside. Middle Benders 2 lengths away with a drop on those two at the moment. 2.5 Sir Slick and there followed by Pepperwood Full Monty. Now Road to Rock's over on the fence. He needs some galloping room. Followed by Court Ruler Rathira. And then comes Pagan Princess, Yield Curve and Riverside. The homeward bound in the Hollandale. 400 metres to go. Goldwater hit the front. Here's Middle Bender issuing the challenge on the outside. 2.5 lengths to Pepperwood. Road to Rock on the fence and then Sir Slick Rathira down the outside. Goldwater led up the 200 metres mark. Middle Bender pounced on the outside and they are followed by Road to Rock running on. Middle Bender the leader. Goldwater trying to fight back then Road to Rock, but Middle Bender, he's had the best run on the race and he drew clear close to home. Middle Bender went home to win from a close photo between Road to Rock and Goldwater. Rathira's run fourth, I'd say, in front of Sir Slick and Pagan Princess, Court Ruler. The next home in the race over on the inside, Pepperwood, and then Reva Sand, followed by Yield Curve, Full Monty, and last home in the Hollandale was Rockdale.
Well, what a day out. Chris Waller is having a Metal Bender, fairly new to the stable. He's a Randwick and Rosehill Guineas winner at 3. He's returned to his best form. He's taken out the Group 2 Hollandale Stakes up there on the Gold Coast for Hugh.
Where the Hollandale Stakes was run today, and the winner was number 3. Metal Bender, $6.50 and $2, beating her favourite, Rose, $50 and $2, beating.
Module the favourite, 3 from the outside, and away they go. And he jumped away quite well. Fatusi was a little bit slow, settling to. They're about 3 lengths last of orders for Fatusi. They've passed the 800 metres. Mission Critical about a half in front. Module second, 3 lengths Growl Journey giving chase, and then Forbidden Quest. Did we win a length away fifth, followed by the Grain No Jurisdiction and then Windshear. Down under Boy the rails when they cornered. And then Kurt and Mudra coming around the home turn now. Mission Critical in front. Module second on the outside. They're followed then as they fan Growl Journey going for a run between the 2 leaders, and so too No Jurisdiction. And Windshear comes on, and Mudra's the widest runner. Module had the lead, but he's got plenty of company. Mudra swept up on the outside and went straight past Module. Down under Boy getting a run through, but it's Mudra racing away from Module. Kurt making ground on the outside. Good battle for third, but this is home. Mudra, look at it go. Mudra raced away to beat Module by 4 lengths. Kurt got up for third, close fourth between Windshear and Only He Knows. And then Fatusi, No Jurisdiction, a break down under Boy, followed by Lakin. Growl Journey going for a run between the 2 leaders, and so too No Jurisdiction. And Windshear comes on, and Mudra's the widest runner. Module had the lead, but he's got plenty of company. Mudra swept up on the outside and went straight past Module. Down under Boy getting a run through, but it's Mudra racing away from Module. Kurt making ground on the outside. Good battle for third, but this is home. Mudra, look at it go. Mudra raced away to beat Module by 4 lengths. Kurt got up for third, close fourth between Windshear and Only He Knows. And then Fatusi, No Jurisdiction, a break down under Boy, followed by Lakin.
The big one of the day, the Group 1 Doomben Cup.
Metal Bender, Karen McAvoy taking over the duties this afternoon in the Group 1 Doomben Cup. And it's $3.20 favourite Metal Bender, but according to Sir Timekeeper at the 700 metres mark, he's only 2 in front. Goldwater's going closer. Sir Slicker's third. Metal Bender's fourth on the fence. Road to Rock's under a bit of pressure. Triple Honours nearer the inside from Pagan Princess, Vision and Power. Dr. Fremantle further back, Extreme, followed by Newport, Ready to Lift and Riverside. Sir Timekeeper on the bend of the 400, tackled by Goldwater. Triple Honour stays to the inside. Metal Bender's called upon, and Road to Rock is coming down the outside, followed by Pagan Princess, but Goldwater hit the front at the 200 metres mark. Metal Bender and Triple Honour coming after Goldwater from Road to Rock. Goldwater the leader, Triple Honour getting up on the inside, and Metal Bender. Goldwater with Metal Bender and Triple Honour, they hit the line. Metal Bender, I think. Metal Bender, I think, got up and won the cup. A lip, I think, the Goldwater and Triple Honour. It's a photo for fourth. Road to Rock and close up Pagan Princess with Vision and Power. Then Sir Timekeeper. They're followed by Extreme Sir Slick, followed by Newport, Ready to Lift.
Couple of dividends just to tidy up. We'll get stuck into these horses very, very soon. Metal Bender.
He's go. He's had
a... We'll get stuck into these horses very, very soon. Metal Bender.
He's go.
Cross, and certainly found the fence. Got out at the right time to get momentum at the right part of the track, and it was the ride that made the difference between winning and losing. I'm convinced of that, and look, I'm convinced this horse has got plenty left for the spring, Chris.
Yeah, I think so, Ronnie. And yeah, Kieran de Caper. But obviously the Caulfield Cup looks ideal the way that race was run yesterday. And but the beauty of the spring is there's some lovely lead-up races into there, and we keep good
on the tape. Landlord at $10, but Summer Dash.
All set and ready to go. All in the stalls. Starting signal of stalls. Starting signal about to be given for the Mullins Lawyers Grand Prix. And then to Rio, Mother's Milk's out 3 deep, and then Kiora, Kaczynski, followed by K-Seal, Dark Knight, and Arjonium. 700 metres to go, so Timekeeper, a half to TMR. Arvan trying to go up to make a line of 3 and 2 lengths away. Summer Dash from breaking the ice. Here's the Hombre getting room in the middle, improving quickly, and they're followed by Sanderson. Landlord is next from Viking Hero, and where's Kaczynski? It's got 2 behind it as they turn the corner. So Timekeeper, tackled by TMR. Van raced up on the outside from Summer Dash, and here's the Hombre coming at them from Landlord and Sanderson, and Kiora's looking everywhere for a run. So Timekeeper the leader, the Hombre, Landlord on the outside, and Sanderson. Here's Landlord after the Hombre. Look at Kaczynski. Kaczynski's jumping up out of the ground, and it will get up and win the Grand Prix on the line from the Hombre. What a run. Third's a photo. Landlord or Sir Timekeeper from Rocket to Rio. K-Seal and Arjonium as last of all. And we have to ask ourselves, have we seen the Derby winner? I think
well, off that you'd say yes, Alan.
We can see the promising horse, a real promising horse. Off over the road.
The Grand Prix Stakes up in Brisbane goes to number 9, Kaczynski, found the line and Tempo Manor. And the Grand Prix Stakes up in Brisbane goes to number 9, Kaczynski, found the line really.
Oh, look, I don't know, fellas. I can't see anything beating Kaczynski on what I saw yesterday.
Well, I think I'd like the Hombre to beat him, because what I like about...
This is the Doomben 10,000 latest market, and I can tell you, just speaking to Michael Sullivan from Sporting Bet, feeling ready. Every book in Australia's got its tail here. It was $41 top price with them. It's now $8 and has been, with them, had $8,000 on it only minutes ago at the low price. The high price.
Fourth and Shell Scrape a little bit wide. Hot Danish is on the fence. Feeling Ready's in between runners, and they're followed then by News Alert, Black Piranha. Then Melito a little bit worse than midfield. Hortensia outside it with plenty of galloping room, and it's in the clear. Who Be Got You's getting onto its back, and they're followed by Red Lord, Ghetto Blaster, Russeting, and Albert the Fatter's last as they make the corner. King Mufasa well away from the fence. The leader Paprika near the fence from Micmac, Carrara, Shell Scrape. Hot Danish about to burst through in the middle. And then Feeling Ready, and Who Be Got You is coming down the extreme outside. Hot Danish went up on the inside of King Mufasa. Micmac is next. Who Be Got You scorching down the outside, but it's Hot Danish in front, and Hot Danish will win the 10,000 from Who Be Got You. Melito, I think, ran third. Hands from Micmac, Carrara, Shell Scrape. Hot Danish about to burst through in the middle, and then Feeling Ready, and Who Be Got You is coming down the extreme outside. Hot Danish went up on the inside of King Mufasa. Micmac is next. Who Be Got You scorching down the outside, but it's Hot Danish in front, and Hot Danish will win the 10,000 from Who Be Got You. Melito, I think, ran third in front of Micmac and Black Piranha from News Alert. Hortensia never got into it. The next time was Shell.
There's a Hot Danish, Tim Clark and Les Bridge combined now to take the Doomben 10,000, and she becomes the first mare in weight for age history of this race to win. History said she couldn't win it. 47.
How much is a 570 now?
Confirming correct weight, Doomben on 10, 1, 15 and 2 interims. Sorry, Hot Danish.
Queensland Derby, race number 6. It's a good derby this year. The fillies are right in it in 2010. Here's the ratings for the race and the males before. She beat the males in the Frank Packer Plate.
Taken out by Press Day. Sanderson, $17. So Timekeeper, 15. Now Kaczynski, $3.20 out to $3.30. The firm favourite. Number 18 is $5.50 into $5. They look to be the major two. Kaczynski, $3.20, edging out to $3.30 now. Miss Keepsake.
Half Bluey's way. Mahita third from Sanderson. Now they're all off the bit chasing this leader. Let Them Have It is next. And the Hombre Racing Heart followed by Arvan. Miss Keepsakes on the inside from Phil Master. And there goes Kaczynski called upon. Dariana's getting off the fence, trying to get out of traffic as they come to the corner. And Favours Traders next. They come around the bend. So Timekeeper at the 450 metres mark, 3 in front. In second spot is Mahita on the outside from Sanderson. The Hombre, and here's There's Kaczynski. He's launching his big run on the outside, and Dariana's coming through in the middle. Sir Timekeeper, the leader. Dariana's going up to it, and Kaczynski's having a struggle to go to Dariana, and it can't. And Dariana shot to the lead with 100 metres left to go. And what a difference a week makes. Dariana's killing them in the Derby. And Dariana raced away, won by 4 lengths to Kaczynski and Miss Keepsake from Kiora. The next home in the race was Bright Night there, followed then by Sir Timekeeper. Favour Heater. And here's one that hasn't completed the course. There's 2. There's Kabiza and there's Bluey's Way. And Dariana has absolutely made a meal of it. Dariana, well, stayed in the Oaks. Now, you've got to ask yourself, how far would it have won the Oaks by? You've got to ask yourself. It would have won.
Written by, as far as the totes are concerned, with Dariana, a sensational win for that man, Bart Cummings. He's on the sick list, Bart, but that'll...
I mean, it was just a mind-blowing performance yesterday. Well, we look back and think a horse like Arctic Scent won the Oaks and went on to win the Caulfield Cup, and Ethereal won the Oaks and went on to win the Caulfield Melbourne Cup double. And this horse has absolutely donkey-licked them in the Derby. You've got to say that provided she comes up well in the spring, she's going to be very competitive.
Yeah, look, she in that about any of them. I don't care how far they beat things. She's the only one in that race who I think can be a competitive top-line 4-year-old stayer. The only one, and I think she is a chance. I've liked her all along. I said after she won the Packet Plate and she beat the boys there, I said this is a filly with some real ability. But the rest of them, I think you can draw a big line across the track about 4 lengths behind her, and anything that finished behind that, don't worry about it.
Yeah, look, she's obviously an outstanding filly. In saying that, I don't think...
She's never done that.
The feature race anywhere in Australia today. It's the Amy Stradbroke Handicap, one of the famous sprints anywhere in the country, a much sought-after race this year from mid.
Course 360, and we're 4 minutes out from the big Group 1 Stradbroke. Rich, runners are in the yard for the final race here.
Group 1, Amy Stradbroke, the favourites Who Begot You, $3.60 into $3.50.
They're racing in the Stradbroke, and Who Begot You didn't jump at all. He went straight back to the tail of the field. And the first to come out of the gates was beaten from the outside with Mick Mac, and they're going to run to the lead together. King Mufasa is going to be third, but by Ghetto Blaster. Who Begot You's a long way back, then Red Lord. Mr. Baritone's a mile back with Hortensia and Albert the Fat. They're by the 800 in the Stradbroke, and King Mufasa led beaten. Catapulted up to third from Mick Mac and Latin News, and a close fifth, and they're followed by Shell Scrape. Russeting is wide. Melito between runners culminate on the fence, and then Graceful Anna followed by Feelin' Ready. Who Begot You and Black Piranha wide from Hortensia. Ghetto Blaster followed by Red Lord, Albert the Fat, Mr. Baritone. Into the straight, King Mufasa led at the 400 from Beat It. Here's Latin News and Catapulted. They're making their runs together. Melito sprinting quickly followed by Shell Scrape and Who Begot You. They get to the 200. Beat It on the outside just in front of King Mufasa. Mick Mac getting in the clear. Melito, Black Piranha's coming from the back. Beat It. King Mufasa, Mick Mac, Melito, and Black Piranha's flashing down the outside. They hit the line. Oh, maybe Black Piranha. Maybe Black Piranha from either Melito, Mick Mac, or Beat It. Oh, it's a big finish in the Stratty. King Mufasa led at the 400 from Beat It. Here's Latin News and Catapulted. They're making their runs together. Melito sprinting quickly, followed by Shell Scrape and Who Begot You. They get to the 200. Beat It on the outside, just in front of King Mufasa. Mick Mac getting in the clear. Melito, Black Piranha's coming from the back. Beat It, King Mufasa, Mick Mac, Melito, and Black Piranha's flashing down the outside. They hit the line. Oh, maybe Black Piranha. Maybe Black Piranha from either Melito, Mick Mac, or Beat It. Oh, it's a big finish in the Stratty. Culminator, Mr. Baritone behind them from Albert the Fat, Graceful Anna. Who Begot You's run second last, and Hortensia's run last. Oh, did he get up, Black Piranha? He's cried in the last bound for Nash Rawiller. Well, will we have the scenes in the enclosure that we had last year? What a race.
Something different. It's the best. This is to defend his crown. 21.60 and 5.40 for Nash Rawiller. Melito fails by a millimetre, 2 millimetre, 2.60, and Mick Mac.
Out to look at the Stradbroke. Who Begot You has been badly galloped on in the race yesterday. He's a very nasty flesh injury. The good news is this morning that the tendon is okay.
Some excuses for a couple of the favoured runners, but all in all, the winner was the best run in the race. When he was fanned out with those two other chances, he was the only survivor that hit the line. It was an incredible.
Dollars on course. Rothsay $1.90, $1.85 now, $1.90.
Between runners. Sir Frosini's over near the inside, followed by Huster Leafton, and then comes Deer Valley. Rothsay's worse than midfield. He's between runners coming to the corner. No, he's not. He's away from the mess now. He's in the clear. He'll be a bit wide, but he's got nothing in front of him. They're coming around the bend. Launay on the inside, just in front of Orange, followed by Tia Qualo Carrara. Spot on target, Huster Leafton, and here's Rothsay. He's pulled out to the middle of the track, and he's coming with a big run now. They're coming to the 200. It's Launay. Orange tackled by. So he descended upon them. Then came Carrara and Deer Valley down the outside, but Rothsay cleared out at the 100 metres, and the Guineas is all over. Rothsay is dashing away. Rothsay went home to win from Launay, I'd say 15 Carat and Deer Valley, but there's not much in it for second, third and fourth. The next time miss with...
The program finished up there with a very promising horse in Rothsay. And if you're betting in the run, Shane Templeton coming down the side of the track.
We bet Ascot in 2011 and... No, that's my target with him next year. This time next year, be at Ascot with him, trying those mile races that Starcraft won.
Yeah, well done, Gerald. He's a great trainer. Blake Shin.
Race was his, and that's exactly what he's did. The rest all whacked away and did their best, but he was in a class of his own.
Yeah, look, he's the find of the carnival. He always was a beautiful, good-looking colt, and always promised to be a star, and he's well on the way. And I think that's a good little option.
They're racing in the Healy. And near the inside, it was Pinwheel, the first to come out of the gates and going fast. Haylist from an outside barrier, and First Command is going over with Tour Guide, but it's Haylist around the first corner. There he goes, the big horse. He's off to the lead. He's out by two to Tour Guide. First Command is racing Forestrino in another takeover. Inside the 600, and Haylist is the leader as they come up to the home turn from Tour Guide. First Command 3 out, Mr. Slick is 4 out, and Pinwheel is sitting there looking for the run on the inside from Bold Clan's Charming Rogue, and here goes Dares pulled out to make its run with Daunting Lad. Haylist, he took off at the 300 metres mark. He's dashed away. Pinwheel got in the clear, but he's about 3 behind. Here goes Dares next down the outside, Forestrino, but look at this, thank you. 600 kilos and all Haylist. He's absolutely murdering them in the Healy. And Haylist walked over the line, won by 7 lengths to either Pinwheel or Here Goes Dare. The next time in the race, looking for the run on the inside from Bold Clan's Charming Rogue, and here goes Dares pulled out to make its run with Daunting Lad. Haylist, he took off at the 300 metres mark. He's dashed away. Pinwheel got in the clear, but he's about 3 behind. Here goes Dares next down the outside, Forestrino, but look at this, thank you. 600 kilos and all Haylist. He's absolutely murdering them in the Healy. And Haylist walked over the line, won by 7 lengths to either Pinwheel or Here Goes Dare. The next time in the race there was Forestrino. I'd say he's run 4th over. And last time is Fantontes. And you might have to say, I know it's not a Group 1, but that's close to one of the best, if not the best run of the carnival.
Star this bloke, A-list, he's won 9. Star this bloke, A-list, he's won 9 out of 11 for the Davenports. Good on you, Cody. Haylist, and now with Johnny McNair at Gosford to the outside.
John McNair's about to walk down the stairs. Now, that one horse to a degree. I think this horse is pretty special. And when how much think...
He's unbelievable, Bertie. I mean, I've been lucky enough to ride some good sprinters in my time, but I tell you what, he's right there with him. Don't worry about that.
I was a little worried about the alley, but he did, and perhaps we've seen a star here today.
You know, I'd really like to hope so, Bernie, because I tell you what, I think he's the real deal, this bloke.
Will you be ringing, John?
Alan Bailey, a superstar coming through. Healy Stakes.
With you on Haylist. That was one of the most exciting wins I've seen from a sprinter in many, many years. That if I'll be surprised, you can't go on just one performance, but I'll be surprised if he doesn't go on and become the best sprinter in the country based on that, if he can back it up.
Well, and for Haylist, Chris.
Hot Danishes. I've got to say, Nilly, that's the performance of the carnival.
It's the most exciting one, isn't it?
Because it's the most exciting one. That's the right word, Richard. It's the most exciting one. Like that horse broke the race record. It was 6/10 outside Century Kid's track record, which I remember when Century Kid won. It was like an aerodrome strip. It was hard. and we don't get those real hard tracks. We started with a dead 4 yesterday and got to a good 3. You know, he's very much, I'm not going to say he's a takeover target, but he's the same sort of horse. He's a big, powerful sprinter, and he has speed from start to finish. And horse that ran...
I think the one asset that this horse has got, you saw him, he came from a wide draw there yesterday. We pinged the lids, he went straight to the front, and as soon as Chris Muntz dropped his hands, the horse just went to sleep like that. He could have got another lap on the bit. He's got fantastic acceleration. He's like the Dave Taylor of the racing industry. He is a monster, and he is a very, very, very serious horse.
So those people watching in these before.
To the hurdle, and this is the jumper.
Backfield, Desert Master rallies only about 3/4 away. Famous Prince third, vindicating the inside. Corrie's out wider. Black and Bet is strolling though. Further back in the field is as they swing for home, Grizz. Black and Bet kicked away early in the straight. He's opened up 6 or 7 lengths in the twinkling of an eye. One to get over. It's the favourite, Black and Bet, with a huge lead and a terrific battle for the Miners. They've all got a chance. At the last, Black and Bet leapt it well, and he's about 7-8 lengths in front. Corrie's running on the outside. Famous Prince is boxing on with vindicating Grizz and Tibooburra Travis, but this is an absolute trouncing. Black and Bet, champion hurdler, wins the Australian hurdle for Steve Pateman. Yes, they can't catch him. Black and Bet won it by about 10 lengths.
Gee, by Black Hawk, Steve Pateman aboard, and the great Robert Smurden.
Only about 8 or 9 cover them though. Sacred Orders and Jungle Ruler cornering together. Reisman moved up quickly and joins them 3 wide. Art Symbol in behind them with Baringamar and Arroyo Gold. Now Mudra Williams has got him away from the rails, and he's on the outside of Monganui, and he's starting to come home. It's Reisman going to the lead. 300 to go, but Mudra's out in the middle of the course, and he's motoring. 200 left to go now, and Mudra raced up to Reisman. 2 or 3 lengths to Monganui, Soldiva, Jennings, Art Symbol, and then Snort, but it's Mudra who gets the upper hand with 100 to go. Gets away a length and a half on Reisman, and Mudra, it's soft at the end by 2 lengths Reisman. Jennings came through 2 lengths away third. Snort might get the fourth from Soldiva, Monganui. Stormhill worked home, followed Arroyo Gold. Dandy worked home, followed Arroyo Gold. Dandy Dollar.
Too good here. He's a star in the making, this bloke. He might have a low rating. Aim their bar high here from Kieran, because he is a very good horse. This big track here at Flemington Suits. Look at Craig. He can't believe how soft that was. You're right, mate. He's a good horse, Shane.
Well, I have been saying this one for a while. You get a few wrong every now and then. You get one right, and I just like the way he goes about it, don't you? I mean, he's just.
What about the way Craig? You thought he's in the wrong spot here. Next thing you just said, "I'm turning out right. Get out to the middle of the track and let him go." Sammy.
I mean, that's push, and I just think the sky's the limit for this bloke as he comes through the grades.
A length and a half, Mindovsky, who's just been slapped along a little bit at the moment. Brass Razoo on the fence, then Black Kestrel pulling out, starting a run. 2 lengths away, Spieler. Resettable, if it's going to win, is going to have to be very, very good from there. It's too far back, surely. Homeward bound as they flatten now, and Dodge Tide quickly sprinted to the front. Black Kestrel, Mindovsky running on. Resettables come to the extreme outside and is gathering momentum very strongly. They're inside the 200 mark. Dodge Tide 2 or 3 in front. Resettables coming home like Burnbrush. Quickly moved up, took the lead away from Dodge Tide. Boy, this had something on them. And Resettable from second last wins in a trot. Dodge Tide has run second, third Black Kestrel, and Barada made ground from Solar Shot and Mindovsky. Judd and 2 lengths away, Spieler. Resettable, if it's going to win, is going to have to be very, very good from there. It's too far back, surely. Homeward bound as they flatten now, and Dodge Tide quickly sprinted to the front. Black Kestrel, Mindovsky running on. Resettables come to the extreme outside and is gathering momentum very strongly. They're inside the 200 mark. Dodge Tide 2 or 3 in front. Resettables coming home like Burnbrush. Quickly moved up, took the lead away from Dodge Tide. Boy, this had something on them. And Resettable from second last wins in a trot. Dodge Tide has run second, third Black Kestrel, and Barada made ground from Solar Shot and Mindovsky. Judd pulling up short was Night Dancing.
I'm positioned at about the 150-metre mark, and I took a look over my shoulder when they turned for home, and just the rate in which this horse was passing the others was remarkable, resettable. I was looking about, he wasn't going to be for long, and away he went.
And that has been a most outstanding victory. A very, very
wide out. 2 lengths away is Maydan City, and last of all as they turn extra space, Nevlik has nursed along on the final bend. He's a length in front of Alpha Tango Sierra. Back on the fence is Odin's Hammer called upon. Tar Miss coming wide to Nuja. Last Cash with a bit of work to do. Niblik goes strongly down to the 200. Shot away, 2 or 3 lengths in front. Alpha Tango Sierra, Odin's Hammer, Tar Mist and Tanuja. Last Cash run on. This is going to make an absolute mess of them. Niblik gets the head out. He's blowing them off the puck. Niblik went home and won easily. 6 or 7 lengths to Alpha Tango Sierra. Third, I'm not sure, Tanuja or Tar Mist. Last Cash never a chance.
a totally different win than the previous stablemate, but as impressive on the speed, controlling the race. They didn't go that hard. He was asked to...
An absolute mess of them. Niblik gets the head out. He's blowing them off the puck. Niblik went home and won easily. 6 or 7 lengths to Alpha Tango Sierra. Third, I'm not sure, Tanuja or Tar Mist. Last Cash never a chance.
a totally different win than the previous stablemate, but as impressive on the speed, controlling the race. They didn't go that hard. He was asked